Hello, my friends. In this presentation of Freedom Law School, I will cover with you the IRS, how it has lost over 30% of its employees, and they are in big trouble, which means you are going to be having an easier time to free yourself of the yoke of the IRS and keep more of your hard-earned money that you deserve to keep because it's yours by law. I'm Peymon Motahede, the president of Freedom Law School, which I created in 1996. freedomlawschool.org is our website. Let's get to the presentation about how you're going to be free. You're going to be so excited to see this stuff from the mouth of the IRS, Treasury inspectors, and other credible sources for yourself, okay? So here it is on our website, freedomlawschool.org. Under Step 3, how IRS is based upon bluff and deception. I've listed here for you that the IRS has lost nearly a third of its workforce now and has fewer employees than it did in 1974. Wow! 1974. That was how many years ago? Wow, it's right now, June 2026. That's over half a century ago. Yes, the IRS has less employees to deal with a growing America. Every year, about 250 million Americans work or receive some kind of income at the minimum, yet the IRS numbers are going down. See, here we are. As of January 2026, IRS has about 74,000 employees, fewer at any time since 1974. And between January 2025 and January 2026, 31,000 employees, roughly 30% of its entire workforce of 103,000 IRS employees, left the IRS. And everything you see, folks, is based upon documentation. For example, this is the IRS Commissioner's report to Congress in 2022. Is one of the things I rely upon. And whenever you want to see the proof of things that we say, all you got to do is click on the proof. You see like this black rectangle. See proof here, and I'll come up for you to see it. Now, first, I'm going to give you guys a delicious comparison of our situation with the IRS. So in this cartoon, short clip, you will see these are the IRS, deep state, Epstein gang versus us. Here we go. Ready, guys? 1, 2, enjoy.
You're right. It's just one ant.
Yeah, boss. They're puny.
Puny. Say, let's pretend this grain is a puny little ant.
Did that hurt?
Nope.
Well, how about this one?
Are you kidding? How about this?
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line.
Oh, who are the puny little ants? You and me, the American people. That is what the IRS, the deep state, the Epstein gang billionaires, that's how they look at you and I as puny little ants. And if we ever figure that out, that we outnumber them much more than 100 to 1, there goes the way of life of Epstein gang billionaires, the IRS, the deep state, and you will be free and prosperous once again, the way you were meant to be free by the vision of the America's founding fathers, U.S. Constitution, Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights. So let's get to the facts that will empower you to be free. Here it is. This is the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration report okay, status of IRS's workforce as of January 2026. Okay, let's go inside of that, and here, Treasury Inspector General is TICTA as their abbreviation. Here's what they say. According to IRS records, 31,000 plus employees separated from the IRS and took the offer to leave the job or use some other incentive to leave the agency during the 1-year period between January 2025 and January 2026. These departures represent approximately 30% of the IRS's workforce and impact certain business units more than others. Yeah, well, that's a lot, folks, to begin with. That's a lot to lose when you have 103,000 people only. To lose about over 30,000, that's over 30%. That is a huge loss for this broken agency, and here is more. Okay, this one again shows from the same report, reporting IRS's workforce reductions in 2025. Staffing, guess what? It was 103,000. Okay, and then as of January 2025, look at this chart. It came down on the bottom right, the right one, January 2026, down to 74,000, over 30% reduction. This is not my claim. This is Treasury auditor said that. And look at this chart. Who did leave? Look at the right side, the gray. The big gray, 40% of the people that left are 55 years and older. Almost 14,000 of them are the most experienced, the most knowledgeable people that know about IRS systems and computers and methods, and they're the ones that left the most. That means these people that could be training younger generation how to replace them correctly are gone. A lot of them are simply gone, not there. That is more serious than young people leaving. Okay, now here is an article from Reuters. Okay, tax enforcement weekend after Trump job cuts, IRS data shows. This came out April 15, 2026, a couple months ago only, but it is still very relevant. And it says, look at this. The vast majority of revenue collected through tax enforcement comes from unpaid balances. Audits are often years-long processes that do not immediately yield revenue. Let me translate that. Okay, the vast majority of the number comes from unpaid balances. Where do unpaid balances come from? When you were suckered by the corrupt mainstream media, by your bookkeeper, your accountant, your tax attorney who told you, you better file a 1040 tax form. Otherwise, you've been trouble with the IRS. Your business will go away. They'll take everything you got. Be afraid. I'm here to make sure you're safe. Sign that 1040 income tax form. I'll protect you as a professional. Bookkeeper, accountant, CPA, tax attorney. But what they're really doing to you is this. They're putting a rope around your neck. You trusted these so-called professionals because they pretended to know what they're doing, but they actually put the rope around your neck, signing that 1040 income tax confession form, claiming that you owe the IRS money every year. And that's not my claim. That's a fact. I'll show you. Your accountant didn't show you, well, I'm going to show you right now. He suckered you, to sign a form, because when you sign an IRS form 1040 income tax confession form, you state under oath that you owe the IRS money. Here it is. The 1040 U.S. individual income tax return. You are suckered into signing every year. Americans do it, and they don't have the money to pay what they confess to the IRS. You say sign here, and like a good used car salesman, the fine print, the small tiny print next to it. Did your accountant, did your CPA tax attorney tell you what that means under penalty of perjury? Could you even read that? Tiny font? No. Here it is. I made it big for you to understand. Under penalties of perjury, you declare everything is on there. It's true, correct, and complete, the same as if you were to do it in front of the judge and the jury in a court of law. You're swearing. Any mistake, guess what? The accountant doesn't go to jail. The CPA tax return does not go to jail. You go to prison for something that professional suckered you to pay him, okay, to confess that you owe the IRS money, okay? And so here it is. I'll prove that you also claim that you owe the IRS on line 37 under oath. You claim, here it is, amount you owe. You self-declare this is the amount you owe. Fill in that number. You see that number on line 37 you put in there? Yep, that number. You told the IRS you owed them the money. And people sign these things not having the money to pay. People call me all the time, Peymon, I owe the IRS $20,000, $800,000 or more. I have to pay it. What happened? I filed the 1040 tax forms, but did not have the money to pay it. Why do you file a tax form? Because my accountant told me that to do. See? He's ignorant. Okay? So, let me tell you, there's about this issue that the fact of the matter is, IRS is falling apart, and the article I gave you also says this. IRS's enforcement arm, roughly 5,000 of its employees, headed to 2026. Its employees, and it's on track to cut another 5,000 in the coming year. Right, according to agency's budget projection. That's right. They're going to have even more cuts. So again, to summarize a little bit where we at, the IRS, it's easy for them to come after you when you sign a California confession form. Otherwise, to come after you when you don't file, it takes years. Perhaps any money come down the road, if anything. That's what they said. Go back and rewatch the video if you want that part. Okay? Now, let's continue to here. Here's, again, the report says at its height, the Biden administration, IRS employed 103,000 people. Yep. And according to Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration, it aims to employ 69,000 by 2027 fiscal year, which begins October 1st. Good luck. Yep. But before, because that ain't going to happen, folks. That's not going to happen, okay? See, the IRS had struggled for years with its finances as Republicans in Congress blocked funding for the agency intended to help it maintain its outdated technology systems and retain highly skilled staff. That's right. Not only they're losing people, they have outdated technology systems. Oh yeah, that's a big one, folks. We're going to come to that in a little bit, okay? And here you have this Natasha Surin, the president and co-founder of the Yale Budget Lab, a financial think tank. These are pro-government communist fronts out there, okay? They want the government to have more money of your money. They want you to be poor because your money doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the wonderful government. That's who this lady is, right? So here's what she says. I think that the agency has suffered, potentially, irreparable harm. Do you see that? Irreparable harm that cannot be undone. I agree. She is right. I'm glad she's telling you IRS is not savable. They're not salvageable. Because it wasn't as if we were starting off from a system of tax administration that was modernized and set up to pursue compliance on the high end of the income tax spectrum, whatever. It was not modernized. The modernization, what are they talking about? Computer systems, that's right. It's 2026, okay? IRS's computers are antiquated, yes, to 1960s. They're running the main brain of IRS's computer system. In Martinsburg, Virginia, individual master file there is still running a 1960s antiquated, before the time that we supposedly went to the moon, which we didn't, computers, okay? Here's an article, Americans for Tax Reform, came out in 2022. 40 years of failure. IRS unable to fix computer systems. And this wonderful article gives you again and again proof that the IRS is a dying organization. It says here, look at this. For 40 years, the IRS has tried but failed to update its main computer system, regardless of funding level. That's right, regardless of money. And regardless of who controls the White House and Congress, doesn't matter. The bureaucracy is simply unable to pull it off. That's it. They can't fix it. It's broken. The IRS and progressive Democrats continue to plead poverty and pretend the failure is due to insufficient funding rather than incompetence, because it is incompetence. And socialism, communism does not work. They have no incentive to be competitive. They get the money no matter how terrible a job they do. The more terrible job they do, they get more money to waste because they don't know how to run a business of any kind. And this thing, generation after generation, starts getting so bad. Same as the communist Soviet Union. That's why it collapsed in 1991 from within. Okay? That's going on with the IRS. So you see here below is a compilation of key news articles documenting the IRS's failure starting in 1982. All of these are mainstream newspapers like the New York Times in 1982 was the first one. Next one was that, 1985 from Time magazine. Next one, 1985 from the Washington Post. Mainstream corrupt IRS loving institutions. Again in 1985 by New York Times. Another article a year after year in 86 by New York Times. Folks, these guys are crying for the IRS for over 40 years. It cannot get its act together, and now it is toward the end of its life, thanks to you and I standing up to these crooks and criminals. Now, here it is. Check this out. IRS's IT, Information Technology Department, their computer system, has shrunk 42% under Trump. That is the key area that they have to fix to be able to handle things. Right? The antiquated 1960s systems on COBOL assembly language. Now, it's completely hopeless. They cannot update that to 2026 AI. You hear all that baloney about, I shouldn't get AI to get people. Bunch of baloney. They cannot do that without risking complete system collapse, because they have over 100 computer systems which are not connected. They don't talk to each other. Yes, that's on our website, freedomlawschool.org. You can see more about that there. So it gets more exciting how IRS is really falling apart. Okay? So here's an article that came out April 2026 from the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, okay, a .org nonprofit. Again, pro-socialist communist organization in April 2026, okay? 3 strikes against filers this tax season. There's lots of strikes against you if you file 1040 confession tax forms. Don't do it. Don't put a rope around your neck, and don't give it to the IRS. Don't sign those forms. Stop income tax withholding from your paycheck at our website, freedomlawschool.org, for free, and keep your hard-earned money. So let's go in this article. There's a couple interesting things, okay? Check this out. The base IRS budget is now 40% below its 2010 level. Wow! The population of America has grown from 2010 to 2026, yet they have 40% cut. That's like running in less than half of an incompetent organization to begin with, after adjusting for inflation, okay? And Trump's administration's new budget proposal to cut the agency's funding in 2027 even more, even further. Budget cuts, plus a large decline in staffing, okay? They say 27% in the just past year, weaken the agency's ability to do essential work like answering filers' questions and auditing complex high-income tax returns. Yes, they can't even answer your questions when you call them. Imagine that. You call the IRS, I want to pay you. I want to make a payment plan. They won't take a call. They're too busy, too incompetent to do even such a simple task, okay? Undermining tax enforcement, okay? For 26, Congress cut the IRS enforcement budget by 8% to the lowest level since 1988 after adjusting for inflation. Good. Good. And they have to do that, by the way, because they can't even answer phone calls of filers who want to call and make a payment plan with the IRS before they potentially get the money paycheck taken by the IRS or levied. So here it is. Again, audits of higher income filers more than pay for themselves. Okay. In the top 1/10% of people, for every dollar they spend on audits, they make $6. That is still not that much. Audits are not the tool of the IRS making more money. They make the money when they sucker you to sign and file a for income tax confession form, and they rely on you not stopping income tax withholding from your paycheck. Go to your employer, stop income tax withholding on our website, fieldoflawschool.org. It's there. Call us at 813-444-4800 if you need to get some assistance. Here it is, folks, okay? IRS refuses to go after extremely rich non-filers. See, those are filers that they were talking to you about. Non-filers, they leave alone. Even the rich non-filers, IRS leaves alone. This is again from Treasury Inspector General. It says high-income non-filers owing billions of dollars are not being worked by the Internal Revenue Service. Okay, and I summarize the key part right here. Basically, what it says here, the link is right there to check out the document for yourself. Read it. U.S. Treasury auditors gave the IRS a list of 100 richest income tax non-filers who each would owe the IRS about $100 million. I recommended to the IRS to go after these people for taxes. The IRS is so broken, disorganized, lazy, and irresponsible that the IRS refused to commit to going after these extremely rich, high-income tax non-filers. And as far as we know, they left them alone. If they're reaching these rich non-filers that each owe the IRS $100 million, that was back in year 14, 15, 16, how about you? Make it far less than that. You don't file, they're going to leave you alone in 99+% of the time. That's the truth you're seeing right in front of you, okay? And see, here's why. Again, another report from Treasury Inspector General, okay? It says, what does it say here? That when they come after non-filers, they call it the ASFR program, when they come after you don't file, due to low return on investment, okay? Well, how much is reported? They only provide $2.25 for every $1 spent. Very inefficient. They only double the money. They make over $300 for every filer, though, at least, because the sucker you file a for you confession form. Here's a National Taxpayer Advocate Annual Report to Congress, 2025, and here it says right here, okay, about the 2026 filing season. Staffing reductions have been significant. In January 2025, the IRS workforce consisted of more than 102,000 employees. By December, the number had been reduced to 74,000 employees. The impact of these departures is not merely numeric. Many departing employees were experienced workers whose institutional knowledge and technical expertise cannot be easily replaced. That's what I keep telling you guys, folks. These people with experience gone, their knowledge is gone with them, okay? And furthermore, okay, here's this one. The IRS said that 142 of its senior executive service, or roughly 40%, separated and took an offer or used some of the incentive to leave as of January 2026, okay? Members of the SES serve in key positions just below top presidential appointees. Wow. And these guys are at the highest levels of the IRS. And almost half of them are gone. Gone. I'm going to get out knowledge in their heads about how things work, pass it on to the next people. It can't be done. It's gone. They're going to fall apart faster and faster now, okay? So here is a figure from the report, Irish personal losses by different functions that they have here, okay? I found the one that was most interesting to me. You can look at this chart on your own as I scroll down on it, okay? But the one that got my attention the most was the one with the IRS's headquarters, okay? Okay? And this one, where's the one for IRS's headquarters? I think it was right. It was like, oh, here we go. IRS headquarters, HQ, went down to from 50 down to 17. Whoa. That's 66% drop. Imagine. The key place where everything comes together, headquarters, right? That staffing went down by more than half. So all the pieces, over 100 different computer systems, are each doing their own thing. And they don't talk to each other. They're all just over there, whatever. Leadership is gone. The system is already imploding by being completely disintegrated to smaller parts without proper communication, okay? So this is why, and Bob, you see, I talk about this a lot. The suspensions include the IRS's more vital database. From 2023, a U.S. Government Accountability Office GAO report said this. The IRS recently suspended operations essential to replacing a 60-year-old individual master file, IMF. Accordingly, the 2030 target completion date for replacing the IMF that the IRS announced last year is now unknown. They have no idea when, if ever, they're going to update their 1960s individual master file, the brain of the IRS. Not even a lip service. They know they cannot do it. It eventually will collapse. Okay? Now, what does the IRS do instead to scare you? They send these dumb computer-generated letters to scare you. They're sending a lot of these because they're cheap and easy. Okay, here's an example from Austin, Texas. Okay, you need to file and pay your 2024 Form 1048 tax return. Okay, March 2026. What do you need to do? Folks, look at this letter. There's no name of anybody sender. No name, no signature. Just the one-page scare letter. But you see the name of the IRS and the vulture in the top left. That's supposed to scare you. Now, it means nothing. It's complete utter junk. Okay? Junk mail. You can completely ignore it and you'll be just fine. Then they send another letter like this. Again from Austin, Texas. Oh, time-sensitive information. Open immediately. What? Are you scared? Immediately. Open immediately. Time-sensitive. Baloney. Okay? You must file your 2024 tax return. We send you prior notices, but still haven't heard from you. What you need to do immediately, be scared, right? Because you're not scared. Now, responding to the scare letters, they just keep sending you more scare letters like this one. This one's only 2 pages, okay? Oh, man, how to make a payment. You want to make a payment? Oh, we tell you how to do that easy, right? So, again, you see no name on here, no signature. There's nobody watching you, waiting for your response or lack of response at the IRS. They want you to think, oh, if I don't respond, David, Joe, Robert, one of those guys is going to notice and I didn't respond to his letter. He's going to come and get me. Oh. No. Doesn't work like that. Sorry. To them, you're not important. To them, you're just a sheep little ant to shear, to sucker you, to give up your hard-earned money to the IRS common social system instead of your family that needs your money very badly. Okay? And here's another one of those. Okay, so there's a third one. They usually have their three letters. I got two of them up for you. But at the end, remember this. It's game. They control your mind. They control you. Let me remind you the truth of you got a third letter up there? Okay. So let me remind you of the truth, how much power you got. Watch this one more time, how we outnumber these guys more than 100 to 1. Here we go. You need this repeating, watching this.
Yeah, you're right. It's just one ant.
Yeah, boss, they're puny.
Puny? Say, let's pretend this grain is a puny little ant.
Did that hurt?
Nope.
Well, how about this one? Are you kidding? How about this? You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line.
Yep.
You're right.
If you ever figure that out, that we outnumber them, okay, more than 10,000 to 1, there goes the deep state, the IRS, Epstein gang billionaires that own the system that benefit from you being a slave. You just saw the proof. You do not need to be afraid of the IRS. I've not filed a income tax for over 30 years openly, teaching Americans not to file income tax like me. IRS knows it. They've never tried to put me in prison, okay? Never even indicted me for not having filed and paid federal income taxes. Why? Because they know, I know, there's no law requiring me or you, the people of the 50 states, to file and pay any federal income taxes to begin with. So all that's stopping you from going forward to be free is your mind. What you need to do is to de-brainwash yourself of the lies that you're required to file income taxes. So go to our website, freedomlawschool.org, okay? And you can call us at 813-444-4800. Either way, we'll mail you these brochures free of charge. Restore Freedom and Fast Track Your Success. Both of them show you in 10 pages inside why no law requires 99% of Americans to file and pay federal income taxes. $50,000 reward if you can show me I'm wrong. I'll pay you if you put your name and phone number. Someone joins our Restore Freedom plan with 100% guarantee protection for them, for referring people to us. This is all laws obtained from government's own official legal websites. Okay? Supreme Court decisions, from U.S. Treasury regulations, everything. So go to freedomlawschool.org and on your drive to and from work, on errands, shopping, whatever. Okay? Listen in your car on your smartphone to our videos at freedomlawschool.org and empower yourself to be free. And then when you go to work for lunch or home for dinner, put your smartphone up one more time. This time play and listen and watch this time. Okay? And verify that the law is on your side. You are not required to file income tax, payroll taxes, corporate taxes, estate taxes. Your employer, you should not withhold anything from your employee's paycheck. No FICA, no income tax, none of that. Your company and you and your employees will be much richer and go successfully big. Folks, I help companies save themselves from going under by telling the guy, look, stop taking money sent to the IRS. You and your employees always save your jobs and your business. So all you got to do is educate yourself, okay? Free your mind. Like Morpheus tells Neo in the movie Matrix, free your mind is the key. At freedomlawschool.org. I'll be back with you next week. All right, my friends, I'm going to go down to your questions now, okay? And right now we have only one caller, so if you have a question, good time to call. The number to call is 424-552-1299 and press 1. If you have a question, the number to call is 424-552-1299 and press 1. And you'll be on the list of people to get your questions answered. I will also take questions of people who have emailed documents. I'll go over them for you guys at no charge, up to 10 pages every week. Mail it, email or fax it to Freedom Law School. You call my office, make sure they know that we received it, and it is for the Freedom Hour. It's not automatic. You need to call and make sure we received it, and it's on my table right here to go over it for you, okay? So, and I'm going to answer your question online also, but let's go to people who have questions online right now. Let's go to call from area code 770 caller. Please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hello, Peymon?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Hey, this is Mary, and I've called before, and I believe that I heard from you, Mike Adams, and the health ranger. And my question tonight is about estate taxes, and I'm curious to know whether or not I declare income to the IRS. When assets are transferred, like if I were to die, isn't the IRS notified in different ways? You know, and what is the risk of back taxes with added penalties if they were to find out?
Yeah, when someone passes away, no one notifies the IRS for the IRS to come after them. Nobody issues a W-2 form like the employees have. The employers give to the IRS. Or 1099 form an independent contractor, somebody sends the IRS about them. None of that happens. What happens is your own lawyers deceive you, tell you must fill out this IRS paperwork before I sign off on the assets of person A who is deceased now. Is passed on to persons B or C who are alive. That's all it is. Okay?
So you're saying that the lawyers just deceive me into thinking that?
The attorneys are misguided. They're not taught tax law, okay, in law school. In law school, they don't teach lawyers the law. In law school, lawyers, all they do is have them read Supreme Court cases, come to class, argue about them in the classes, learn about law. That's pretty much mostly what they do. They do not know in law school anything about the income tax law. This is Internal Revenue Code in my hand. Over 10,000 pages of gobbledygook, okay, tissue thin, minutia, bunch of confusion. It doesn't apply to you. The definitions are hidden near the end, not the end, near the end, so you don't look it up. It does not apply to you to begin with. So these lawyers pretend like they know the law, but they don't. Okay? So that's the problem. Your lawyer is the one that's making you a slave of the IRS, not the IRS. Okay?
Okay. So you're saying there's not really a concern regarding estate taxes if I don't file?
That's right.
There's no real concern with the IRS
That's right.
finding out and then charging me or my loved ones back taxes.
I'm going to do better than that. I'm going to show the law right now. In fact, I did a video on this just recently, okay? Okay, and I'm going to bring the law for you, okay? uscode.house.gov.
Okay, I'll have to look up that video and tell me where that is, too.
I'll do that too, okay? So,
Okay.
let's see. That's section 2001. Let me get the right section up on the screen for you. So, section 2001 of the Internal Revenue Code is the one that imposes the tax, okay? Estate tax. Let's look at it online. All you gotta do, like me, type it on your computer, 26 space, USC space, 2001 space, US code .house.gov. You type that, it will come up. Hit enter. The first thing that comes up is from the official source of law from U.S. House of Representatives, okay? Here it is. The text of those laws in effect on June 15, 2026. Right? They just updated yesterday. Okay? From Title 26 or Category 26 of Federal Laws, Internal Revenue Code. Okay? Subtitle B, Estate and Gift Taxes. Chapter 11, Estate Tax. Subchapter A, Estate of Citizens or Residents. Part 1, Tax Imposed. Right? Let's go to this, okay? Section 2001, Imposition and Rate of Tax. Here it is. A, Imposition. A tax is hereby imposed on the transfer of taxable estate of every decedent who is a citizen or resident of the United States. There it is. Everybody who is a citizen or resident of United States. Now, as you know, they want you to believe you are a citizen of the United States because for nationality, citizenship purposes, all of us in America are U.S. citizens. But for tax purposes, we are not U.S. citizens. Let's look up now. Look up United States. What does United States mean? Let's look it up together. Here we go. New tab. Type in with me. 26 space. USC space. 7701 space. U.S. code .house.gov. Enter. Bingo. Definitions comes up. Let's go open that in a new tab. Here it is. Here we go again. From Title 26, Internal Revenue Code. Subtitle F, Procedure and Administration. Chapter 79, Definitions. All right. There it is. 7701, Definitions. Okay. When used in this title, okay, were not otherwise distinctly expressed or manifestly incompatible with the intent thereof, okay? So basically, when used in this title, Title 26, tax laws, right? They define the words person and other words that do not need defining. They define them anyways. We go down to United States and state. Oh, there it is. United States and state. Let's go over state first. The term state shall be construed to include the District of Columbia, which is not even a state. How can it include District of Columbia in state, but it's not a state? Because it can't do it.
And I understand that and totally appreciate your discovery of that. But obviously they don't care, and if they can take the money, they will. But you're saying
who's they? Who's they?
The IRS.
Oh no! If you want to become, you can all be. I'm producing an estate freedom package for people like you. If you want to be 100% protected, it's 30% of what you would have otherwise paid the IRS. You don't pay that.
Okay.
Let's suppose your estate tax was, I'm just going to throw it over $1 million, let's say. You don't pay that million to the IRS. You contribute.
Okay, you're saying that would be included. It's not just about annual taxes and them coming after you, but that would even. You're saying that the guarantee applies to estate taxes upon death, etc. I'm just trying to figure out how this works. So what it's going to look like for my family.
You have the option to join the estate freedom package, and when you pay 30% what you would have otherwise paid the IRS, you're protected for the other remaining 70% that you keep. That is yours to keep. We make sure, number one, you do not go to prison. Number two, all you get unlimited consultation. Number three, all the legal work is done by Freedom Law School. Number four, attorneys are paid by us, not you. Number five, most importantly, if they would take any of your money, after all of that, we lose and take your money, they take from you $2 million with interest and penalties. Doesn't matter.
Okay,
we will reimburse you in full out of our funds. So you have no risk.
Okay, I had not even thought about it, how it would apply to something like that. But yeah, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Peymon.
You are welcome. My pleasure. Okay, Bob, so let me finish the conversation when I was there for her, since I'm on the topic for you guys. This term state includes only D.C., as you see, okay, and on purpose. And the United States, when used in a geographical sense, that's what we want to know. It includes only the states, which now we know means only the District of Columbia, okay, and the District of Columbia again. So you have District of Columbia plus the District of Columbia adds up to the same. United States is that, and United States, taxes for estate taxes. Let's look it up one more time, another law, okay? Here it is. Let's read the law about estate taxes one more time. Now we're replacing the words with what they really mean. A tax is hereby imposed on the transfer of the taxable estate of every decedent, someone who passed away, who is a citizen or resident of the District of Columbia. So, if you are from D.C. and you pass away, you must pay your estate heirs, family members, gotta pay estate tax. Otherwise, you don't. All right? Thank you for calling, Mary. Give me a chance to explain that for everybody else. Let's go to the next caller we have right now from area code 303. All right, 303 caller. Please give me your first name. I heard about Freedom Law School. And then your question, please.
Hi, Peymon. My name is Ross, and I first heard about you guys through Marjorie Taylor Greene and then Joe Bannister and some other of the other podcasts and stuff on your guys' website. It's pretty fascinating stuff. Thank you for the work that you're doing. It's very enlightening.
You're welcome.
My question is, I remember reading on your website someplace, by the way, I changed my filing to exempt, which has increased my pay by quite a considerable amount, but I want to increase it further by getting rid of FICA and Social Security. Can you remind me and all the rest of the folks watching, how do you do that? I know there's no official form that you can fill out, but how do you discuss that with the payroll gang at work and try and get them to believe that they're not required to do that by law?
Okay.
I also have another follow-up question.
Do you
to that.
work for a
That was
big
my
corporation
primary.
or small? How many people work at your company?
Small family-owned business.
Okay,
So
this is
the
easy.
conversation's not as difficult as
This
a big
is going to
company.
be easy, okay? That is very easy. You go to our website, okay, to freedomlawschool.org, right? Then you click on the gold bar on the front page that says Start the 7 Easy Steps to Regain Your Power and Freedom. You click on that.
Okay.
Takes you down to the next page that says Free Yourself from Income Tax Slavery with the 7 easy steps. Step 1 is what? Follow the law. That's right. Now, the first video here on the front page shows you that no law requires 99% of Americans to file and pay income taxes. But you want to know about payroll taxes like FICA. Scroll down, go down, continue to step 1, click on there. Okay. You go inside step 1 and scroll down further, and you go see, okay, you see 4 additional videos, okay? Of these 4 videos, the one the bottom right is about Social Security and FICA taxes, okay? Okay, so that's what you want to click on. That's a short version of that here. It says on there, are you required to pay Social Security and payroll tax? That's the one that you want to see. That's less than 10 minutes.
Okay.
Now, you go below that, all these videos, there's 5 videos. There's a longer, more complete, detailed, slower version of it. And the one on the bottom right is, again, called Are You Required to Pay Social Security and Payroll Tax? That's a longer, more complete version, which is, in more detail. So those, you want to start with watching those with your family members. Now, after you do that, okay, now you can also go to step 5. Step 4. Our petitions. The one that says question authority, okay? So that's the one that you want Go down, click inside, continue to step 4. You're going to step 4, okay? This is the way we send petitions to our representatives in the federal government to show us the law that requires us supposedly to pay income and payroll taxes and fill out W-2 forms, W-4 forms, 1099, all this stuff is in the petitions on this page. I'm scrolling down on the instructions on this page and explanations. But when we go down, you'll see at the bottom of this page, okay, the petitions, there's 3 of them, okay? They're all free, fillable file forms you can download, okay? And the first one is about individual income taxes. The second one in the middle is about employment taxes. So click on one of these. There's one for single, one for married people, doesn't matter. Click on a single one, either one, open a new tab, and there you see the actual petition, okay? Fill in the blank form, okay? You print out as many copies of this petition as your family members after they watch the videos. They'll go read it with them slowly. Let's sit down and spend half hour, an hour to read it slowly. All the laws are quoted verbatim in quotes in italics from the U.S. government's own official legal websites. Okay? And at the end of the letter, that you sign this letter to send to your congressman to ask him to show if you're wrong about this. Okay? All right. You want to give you a straight, definite answer. All the laws that we cite and quote here are listed and attached. This is a longer petition. Okay? So here we go. I'm going to edit A through P. List of attachment documents A through P. So you can read and verify the law for yourself right there. That it is not just made up baloney. It is actually the law. And the photocopy from U.S. government's official legal websites is all right there. And then actually all of them are attached. The actual text is attached and the relevant language highlighted. So when you see the page, you can go straight to relevant part of that page and full context of what's on that page for yourself. So you take that time, go with this petition. We'll take with checking everything an hour, go over it slowly, and now your family members know, okay, we are following the law. We're good to go.
Okay. We're my wife and I are pretty close to joining the Restore Freedom plan to have your guys help with all that stuff, as well as like the previous caller with the protection. And if anything ever comes up, that you guys go to bat for us. And how does that work? Can you walk us through real quick the guarantee? Just, I know there's a lot of people out there that go, well, are you even going to be around? You know, if something happens and the shit hits the fan, are we going to be, supported, protected? Or are you going to disappear? Just so everybody understands, my wife included, she's got some concerns about that. If something happens and we call you guys, are you going to be there? If something happens, you get the letters in the mail and, you ignore them and then somebody knocks on your door. Supposing something happens, can you walk us through how that works just so we know, Peymon, please?
First of all, what you want to do when you go to our website, go to step 6, Restore Freedom Plan, click inside, you get there, join a Restore Freedom Plan, okay? Now, first, let me remind you and your wife that the purpose of the Restore Freedom Plan, which was initially called the Royal Freedom Package in 2001 when I created it, after many years of just teaching only, I started a plan as a group to organize as Americans to be free, okay? The purpose of it as a membership is to join hands as Americans in restoring honest, responsive, and limited government to the United States of America. Okay, so that's the purpose of it, okay? Benefits of it are very immense and unique. No one else has these benefits. Number one is 100% guarantee safe, legally sound protection. Freedom Law School guarantees that the IRS will not levy your property, or Freedom Law School will fully reimburse you if you lose the case and the IRS takes your property by force, as long as you remain a Restore Freedom Plan member, which is 30% every year of what you otherwise would have paid the corrupt King George of England. Instead of paying that 3% T-tax to King George, you take 30% of that and contribute to the George Washington Company's Restore Freedom Plan. Okay? So in addition to that, we make sure you follow the law every step of the way. Stop filing income taxes and payroll taxes according to the law and procedures correctly. We'll have them send a petition to Congressman for you. Make that easy for you. You don't have to do it yourself. Okay? And then you get the legal coverage I described. You get criminal protection. Okay? You will not go to prison. Okay? Because these petitions protect you in case of a criminal case, because the criminal case, they must prove your bad faith. You're deliberately believing, knowing you owe income tax or payroll taxes and not paying it. But the petitions prove your good faith. You ask your Congress members, look, if I'm wrong, please tell me. I will pay my fair share of taxes, just like everybody else should pay according to the law. But if they don't show you wrong, you're obviously right.
They don't typically respond to those, do they?
Oh, there are very few times. I finally got one relatively responsive letter, which I'm going to respond to, but 99% of the time, sadly, they do not represent you and interest of the American people. They work for the Epstein billionaire gang, so they ignore you. But we're starting to get a little bit more traction. Because of the interview with Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think some congressional aides of this congressman, who's the leader of the Freedom Caucus, okay, of Republicans in House, his staff came across and gave us a response, which we're going to respond back. But generally speaking, no, they don't. So coming back to this thing, what we do, we protect you criminally, as I said. You get unlimited consultation. Let's make this a little small, not too big. So, you drain the swamp. You don't give that money to crooks. You don't go to prison. We do custom-made responses for you and your situations. It's done correctly. You get unlimited consultation. Don't be shy if you have a question or concern. We're here to answer questions to your satisfaction. And you can also get paid by telling others to join our Restore Freedom Plan, our peaceful restoration of America. So with all the guarantee you got there and no risk, just maintain your participation in our Restore Freedom Plan, and you'll be all good. You'll be free and prosperous. Focus on your family, on your life, on your business instead of the IRS.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Hey, one last question. The small family business that I work for, I'm close to the owners, and I've been trying to talk to her about changing the way the company is to avoid payroll tax. So over the year, it's probably over $500,000 in payroll taxes that they pay that would otherwise go into their pockets, and it's an S corp. And I saw a snippet on your website about changing that into sort of an LLC. And is that sort of a basic, easy process, or is that something you kind of call you guys and get on the phone with and walk through?
Well, I think what you mean is that they want to be protected from not having to pay payroll taxes. Okay? And
Correct.
they're interested, after joining a Restore Freedom Plan, each of them, in the Employer Freedom Plan. Okay? The Employer Freedom Plan is to go to our website in the top center, okay? Of our website, you go to plans, top center on the right side, on the plans, you go down to, it's not on there directly, is it? Which one is that? Employer Freedom Plan. There we go, the third one, Employer Freedom Plan. Click on that, and it gets you to this page. Okay. There I have a video on this, explains it to you, but to make it short, it's very simple. We can free you and your company of all federal payroll taxes for you and your employees, okay? All federal income tax withholding, okay? And then whether your business is organized as a sole proprietorship, LLC, corporation, S corp, or C corp, doesn't matter. Otherwise, doesn't matter how you organize it. We don't care, okay?
Yeah.
You save all that money, okay? So typically, the employer, when you add up all the income taxes withheld from the paycheck of employees and the payroll taxes, that the employee is taking out of his paycheck and the employer matches are close to 30% of the payroll. Okay? So if your company has a $500,000 payroll taxes, that tells me probably the gross employee salaries are about $1.5 million per year, probably in that neighborhood. Okay, it's a rough estimate. Okay, now here it gets better. The membership is only 5% of the payroll. That's 1/6 of the payroll. Only 17% of the payroll. That's about half of 30% of the pay for individual income tax membership is about 30% of your what you would have paid the IRS. For payroll taxes is about half of that. Under 17% of the pay of the what you would have paid in payroll taxes. Why?
Yeah.
Because you will not no longer W-2 your employees, W-4 at all whatsoever. No more 1099 to your contractors either. No more K-1 to the partners of the S Corp or the LLC or partnership or whatever. None of that. And they're free. But we do petitions for every single employee of the company that you have. They come and go. Every single employee will have the petitions done with us, included, not paid by them, by you, that 5%. That immediately saves you about 2.5% on the FICA tax matching you do. Saves you more on payroll hassles and costs, right? And on top of that, your employers now get typically about 20% or more coming into their paycheck. Think about that.
Wow.
The average person, let's suppose that your employee makes, let's say $50,000 a year. I'm just going to make it up, okay? So that 20% of that, that's how much? That's $10,000 for that person. Tell me, somebody makes only $50,000 a year. Don't you think $10,000 a year would be a significant pay increase for that person?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Big
yeah.
time.
Oh, yeah. So they're going to be happy and loyal to you and your company, because if they go to the competition who pays them same $50,000, they're going to get actually less take-home pay, okay, than significantly less than your company. So I want to stay with you and loyal to you. And so this is why, this way I got to free Americans wholesale, 20 employees at a time, 200 or 2,000 employees at a time. That's why I made the pot sweeter for the employers to free your employees of income tax slavery forever. And with that, we're starting right now with small employers. We have maybe 2 employees, 10 employees. We're going to get bigger employers, 50, 200, and 1,000 employees, and then bigger and bigger and bigger. Pretty soon, the only companies that are paying withholding are who? The in-the-system Epstein gang billionaire-owned companies. All the mega-billionaire companies, right?
Yeah.
All the independent, family, small-owned businesses, they're free. And now they can compete bigger with those big institutions. Lowe's and Home Depot, for example, put out business all the hardware businesses in America. But guess what? Now, you want to start a hardware business, you're going to compete and beat Home Depot and Lowe's, because your employees and your company are not burdened with corporate taxes, payroll taxes, income taxes, all of that expensive hassle accounting system to take taxes. You're going to be much more profitable and much more efficient, low cost, compared to Lowe's and Home Depot to expand your market. Imagine that. Having throughout the American economy, this is a peaceful revolution of the American people taking the country back from the Epstein billionaires who use your money to enrich them. Okay, from the all, you name them all, banks, oil companies, insurance companies, okay, drug companies, okay, Zionist billionaires, Israel, anybody who got lobbyists out there, they're sucking up your money into their pockets. Okay, that class of blood suckers will not be sucking your blood anymore. You got to keep it for you, your family, and your family business. Okay, they're just going to go out of business because their employer is going to leave and say, "I don't want to work for you, Lowe's. I don't want to work for you, Home Depot. I'm going to work some mom and pop, small independent business hard because they're more competitive." So the company of your family business will grow significantly. All right, anything else?
Yeah. Hey, real quick, we're a manufacturing company. We can build parts for places. If we were doing business with the U.S. government, meaning through their reward or their contract awarding website, would that be construed as doing business in the District of Columbia?
No.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So we can do business for the government, but we're not considered in that just because we're not located in D.C.
That's right. You could be anywhere you could be in Japan, Taiwan, Thailand, France, Germany, Italy, California, Texas, Florida, Nebraska. It doesn't matter. You don't owe income tax to that little place called District of Columbia. You have nothing to part. No part of that. They get contact with anybody across the globe. They don't pay income tax to that D.C. government.
Okay. Cool. That was all I had, sir. I appreciate it. We're gonna sign up for Restore Freedom Plan this week and have you guys help do all that stuff, and then get the protection with all your gurus and guys that know all this stuff. So I'm excited.
You're welcome, my friend. Thanks for calling. I appreciate you. Give me an opportunity to explain to other people that also have similar questions, my friend. Thank you. Brock, B-R-O-C-K, correct? Did I get your name right?
Ross, R-O-S-S.
Oh, Ross. Okay, I got you. R-O-S-S. Thank you.
And I got more people signed up that are interested in signing up for Freedom Law School, too.
We're here for you, my friend.
Spreading the word.
By the way, let me tell you guys, we're going to be on Tucker Carlson next year. I'm holding back. Okay, because Congressman Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene, they're both going to tell them, hey, get me on, but I'm not doing it because I'm going to take care of you guys first. Right now, during our slow season, next year will be much busier. Right now, we're growing and growing. We're going to make sure we have a strong infrastructure before we go much, much, much bigger. Okay, so call now. Get set up right now. I'm going to give you that full-time attention you need to have you be freed right now where things are not as busy as we'll be next year. All right? We have right now several people. The question online? Oh, you have asked, Yeah, we got right now. You have more callers right now. When you get the question answered, let's see. Let's go to the 405 area code caller. Next, we have a few others after that person. Excuse me. 267 area code number caller. A 406 area code caller number. And then another one from area code 865 calling. All right, 405 area code caller. Give me your name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
My name is Dustin, and I heard about you guys through Facebook. I think it was Stu Peters or something like that I was watching.
Say your name one more time, spell it, please.
Dustin.
Dustin, okay. All right, my friend. How may I help you, Dustin?
All right, I have a couple of questions here. I completed steps 1 through 5, and I sent out the first petitions to the congressman, and also the W-4 addendum to my company. And so a couple of the questions I have is, I would also like to, kind of like the last gentleman, work at getting the payroll taxes, the FICA taxes, not withdrawn from my paycheck. Now, I understand I work for a pretty big company. It's a very large company. And the payroll company, is in a different state than where I am at. And so everything is done via email or faxing, basically. But I guess I was thinking of sending them a letter, kind of like the addendum for the W-4, edited a little, modified for focusing on the payroll taxes. But what is your recommendation or suggestion of how to work with them to try and get them to stop withholding the payroll taxes?
Well, there's a procedure to do it, but there's no guarantee, and very unlikely you're going to be able to get them to do that. Okay, basically the petitions I showed you to the last caller. Okay, you give a copy of that to your payroll department, attention legal department.
Okay.
Say, hey, here's a law. I send it to my congressman if I'm wrong. This is all from U.S. government's official legal websites. And obviously I'm right. Wait 60 days until they don't answer you, the Congress members. Or they give you a nonsense, irrelevant answer, because that's what they do, if anything. And then you say, look, you follow the law. You're just going to say follow the law, and you go up the ladder from payroll department to managers, up, as far as you can. But the problem is, at the end, these big corporations, they got law firms that they hire. They pay $1,000 an hour or more. And these lawyers cannot believe when they see a letter that, well, all our life we've been wrong. We've been lying to people to file paying of tax, but I can't believe that. You can't be right. The emperor, you say, wears no clothes? I can't believe my eyes. That you run to that probably. But if you get up there, somehow get to talk to that lawyer at the very top of the company, convince him otherwise, he'll tell the owners of the company, yeah, stop withholding from Dustin's paycheck and everybody else that works for the company. Good luck. I wish you really, sincerely, lots of luck. But I just want you to be realistic. That's very hard to do, because you're going to get to that. The bureaucracy of your company going to the top, to the law firm, is going to stop you. They will not give you the lawyer's number, because they don't want to pay him $1,000 an hour more to, in their eyes, waste their time talking to you, in their eyes, not me, a peon like you. So, but go for it, my man. In fact, the more employees you get together at your job as a group, write letters together, that'll be better. Imagine if you were to gather a group of you, not just 100, but 500 or 1,000, and say, hey, stop that. All of us. And that's going to get attention. And you say, look, you either stop this or talk to us about it, or we're all going to quit. Whoa! 500 people going to quit like that? 1,000? That could hurt us. We'll at least engage in a conversation with you. So get more of your coworkers to go along with you. The more of them they join, you right up to them, the more power you have at the top, leverage to have these guys listen to you, have a conversation about the law, to stop all payroll tax withholding, federal income tax withholding from your paychecks.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome, my friend.
I have a few other questions here. The other thing about the W-4 that I sent to them, so I sent it via email, like the W-4 addendum. Is it important to send it certified mail in order for the records, or email is fine? They said that they received it, and is that the most important thing, that they receive it?
Email is fine, as long as you ever print out and save a record of that email that you sent out to them. That's the main thing. Okay. You got to keep a record of that. I prefer certified mail because you have that postal certified return stamp receipt there. You know, that's better, but you can email that, but print it out from your outbox, from your send box that shows it was sent on that time. Put in your files, paper files also, in case your computer crashes. You don't lose that copy of your computer. You have a printed out copy as a backup.
Okay, very good. I'll do that. Now, they responded and said that the W-4 is not a legal document, and, you know, kind of like, whatever, it's not important what I sent them. Should I respond to them, saying, like, because it is a legal document, obviously, since it's, you know, signed under perjury. But, should I respond or just leave it?
Look, I don't know what you gave them for them to respond back to you without seeing that back and forth. I don't know what you're talking about. I need you to give me a copy of what you said. You sent them, what they gave you back.
Well, I sent the W-4 and addendum to them, and they replied in the email. They replied to the email and said, you know, this is not a legal document. It's, you know, you didn't really need to send this to us because the W-4 is not a legal document.
Okay, hold on. I need to see the letter exactly what it says. You did the online stop withholding on your paycheck, number one, and you send that addendum by mail to them? And then send it back to you?
Yeah.
That's fine.
They just replied to the email.
Doesn't matter. You mail them or email them the addendum that we give you. Is that what you did?
Yeah, I emailed them.
Good enough.
The addendum that I got.
Bottom line is you are documenting your intent. The fact that they're idiots and they rejected it does not refute your good intent to follow the law. You're making a record that you're following the law. That's why you do that. Okay? So the fact that rejected it is their problem. Your intent is clear, so keep the response of them, which includes what you sent them in your computer, and print it out, physical records for your protection for the rest of your life. You'll be good.
Yes. Okay. I will do that. Let's see. The other question that I had is regarding, so I was looking at the state withholdings or the state taxes, and this is Oklahoma taxes. So I went on your website there. I saw also the video. They kind of like write their own thing, but they also say that the definitions are going to be the same as the IRC definitions. But basically, I understand just stop filing those because they're based off of the federal filing, right? And so there's no reason to file and to have those withheld also. Is that correct?
Listen, there in America, there's 42 countries, okay, in America that claim to have state income tax. I have not looked at all those 42 states one at a time. I don't know. I just looked up as you were asking me questions. Oklahoma's employee state withholding allowance certificate. Apparently, Oklahoma has its own form they want you to fill out. I guess it seems like, okay? This certificate is for income tax withholding purposes only. Oklahoma Tax Commission. Apparently, you have to fill out this form here, okay? I've never looked at this form in my life until you asked me to look at it right now. I'm looking for it live with you as the first time, okay? So, so here, this is the exempt status. Line number 7. If you had a right to refund all your Oklahoma income tax withheld last year because you had no tax liability, and this year you expect a refund of all Oklahoma income tax withheld because you expect to have no income tax liability, right? Exempt on line 7. Well, it looks like the form what the IRS does. So but yeah, exactly. You fill out this form, but that's what you do. You fill out this form, okay? That's what you do. And you put on there on the side someplace right also, okay? I say Oklahoma follows federal tax laws and definitions, and I have no tax liability for federal or Oklahoma for this year. Just something like that on the side of the someplace on the form would be fine, or down in empty areas would be fine. Just to make a record of that in there. That's all I got. Okay?
Okay. Appreciate that. So is it also beneficial to send the petitions to the state representatives and Senate?
Yes and no. You don't have to do it, but it's just that I haven't had the time, guys, to do that letter for every single of the 42 states with their tax laws to figure out, because it really ideally should be custom made to each state tax laws, how they follow the federal laws, and make a little adjustment of that. But it doesn't hurt. You could do a little bit of work. In fact, we plan to put on the research we have on state tax laws on our website. In fact, remind me, we got to do that, guys. What we got on state tax research, let's put that on our website someplace. I know it's not complete, but let's put some of that on there, which was followed on our research stuff. You have it. Yeah, we'll talk about it later. Okay, we put some of it on our website that we have the research about each the actual code section, statutes at large. Yeah, we're going to put it on our website sometime this summer. We got some of the state stuff on my research files. I know we have it on legal research files, but I haven't had time to put it on our website. We put some of those on there. I'm not sure if Oklahoma is one of them or not, but we put them a little over the next couple of 3 years. Hopefully, put them all in there gradually for you all to have available to you guys. Okay?
Okay. Thank you. I have one last question, if I may.
Yes.
It is, thank you. It is about the U.S. Supreme Court ruling that said the different definitions for the states, the 3 different definitions for what United States could mean. And I don't know if I misunderstood what you were saying in one of the videos about the middle definition, the second definition, which is basically how the tax law is using it. But can you just explain that to me, what exactly it means? Like if it's just the square of BC, or if it encompasses all the territories and all the area that the United States government rules over.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into that right now. That's what this is not time for that. That's our videos are step one. Watch them slowly, read the petitions. It's all explained in more detail there, okay? I can link it to people. There's 3 people will be behind you waiting to get question answered. That will take too long. So go to our step one, watch the videos, the short videos and the longer videos, okay? Explain it to you.
Yeah.
Further, you can call us during daytime hours. You don't have to call me about stuff like that right now. You can call during daytime. Call my office also at 813-444-4800. Again, 813-444-4800. Call us during daytime. We'll be happy to guide you as well. Okay?
All right. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, my friend.
And God bless you.
God bless you, my friend. Thank you for calling, young man. All right, 267 area code number. Please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Alex Township, found you guys online and on X.
Okay, you heard us on X, and what else?
X, and just searching online, kind of just Googling.
All right, my friend. Now, what's your name?
My name's Alex.
V-A-L?
A-L-E-X.
V-A...
Oh, no, A like Apple. A-L-E-X, Alex.
Oh, Alex. Alex. Okay, very good, Alex.
You got it.
All right, how may I help you, Alex?
Well, first off, thank you for taking the call. Appreciate everything you guys are doing. I think it's wonderful to see the big change in this country, and I think it's wonderful. So anyway, found you guys online. Just been doing some digging. I kind of immediately jumped right into everything you guys have on your website, processed everything, and did everything digitally through my employer as well as my wife as well. My question really is, I did mine in the beginning of the year. I spoke to one of your staff members, really helpful, and they recommended, they said, look, since, 2025 is ending, you want to kind of start at the beginning of the year. So you're not, putting money and giving money to the, to the IRS into the year and kind of, changing your W-4 mid-year. I mean, not that it really matters, I guess he said, but you want to try to save your money as much as you can. So I did that. My wife's we didn't do till later. She said she wanted to kind of look into it a little more. We were dealing with it. So my question is, I did mine in the beginning of the year. So for this year, I'm going to be filing my tax return still for 2025. So I can still do that I just want to know, I can still do that normally just as a joint, joint return with my wife and I for 2025. And so for this year, for 2026, I guess when 2027 comes around, obviously I won't be filing a 1040. And my wife, since she did hers, we just updated her W-4 as well digitally, W-4, on her, her payroll portal with her company. I guess those funds that she paid in, I guess there's nothing you could do about those funds that she's already paid into, right? Those are kind of, you have to accept them as a loss, right? You're kind of like, hey,
right,
it is what it is, right?
That's right. What's gone is gone. Well, she could file a return to get those back for 25, but for 26, just stop withholding as soon as you can and don't file for next year. Just, if you can stop withholding right now, stop it right now.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. And then my other question was, how important, so because we did it online, both of our payroll companies are just total digital, so we just did it online. I took a screenshot of it. I, kind of updated it, kept a copy for myself. But because it's done online, there's not really an email chain. There's nothing to kind of keep a record of it, so to speak. Is that okay? Or I did, by the way, also, because it says you can mail it, and I thought, well, I don't know how this payroll company is going to handle that. So I just did it kind of obviously digitally on their portal. Is that okay from your point of view? Is that safe and fine, or do I need to do something for the record keeping?
For record keeping, if you did the portal online of your job, withholding on your job, you must send the copy by hopefully certified mail, if not by email to them, the written copy of that thing, okay, to them, okay, to make a record of your intent, because the online portal does not allow you to do the whole thing properly. Right. So you must mail it to them, preferably email would be okay if you have a record of that on your send box to print out and save. To here's because you won't do our form that puts your legal position on paper for your protection. That's why.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. I understand.
Okay. Very good.
Understood. Okay. That's pretty straightforward. I'll get that sent out and just have it for our records so we have it because they took it. There was no issues. There was no concerns. They didn't have any, they didn't respond back. They just updated it, and it's been good since the beginning of the year. So,
right.
It's all moving forward, which is good. So, and then I understand also on the state level, I did some research, and I think on your website as well, it's that some states are very good about, or I guess they said, let's just say they're more, it's easier to avoid paying the state sales tax or the state, income tax, in certain states, and being Utah is one of them. He said, they don't care so much. They're not aggressive. To be on
they're not
is that correct?
Aggressive. Right. They're not aggressive like California Franchise Tax Board. Correct.
Right. Okay, cool. And that's what we did as well. And so it's been good and no issue. So thank you again. I appreciate it. I've been telling more and more people about you guys.
Thank you.
And then I'll kind of just finish it off with this. I did want to ask you guys, from your point of view, since there's obviously a lot of listeners that probably chime in on this thing and want to know, I understand you guys have a program, which, if we go through the Freedom Law program, the plan, it kind of protects you. If someone were, let's say they didn't do that. They didn't follow through on that part. They didn't follow taxes. And I've talked to others. They said, I've been doing it for like 6 years and I've read and they never had any issues. If we have a problem and something does come up, are we able to reach out to you guys and still basically apply for the plan and ask for your support if something were to come up?
Well, it'll be an extra pre-existing charge without a guarantee. Mm-hmm. And you have to, at that time, join a Restore Freedom plan and maintain your membership from there forward. In other words, look, I want to encourage more people, and I can only encourage. I cannot make anybody do anything they don't want to do, but I can encourage you that, hey, join a Restore Freedom plan, because the more of you together, the more powerful we are. I want our group to grow larger. So it's better if you join and stay every year and have peace of mind. If that's what you want, for sure. 100% peace of mind, join right now and just stay every year. 30% of what you would have paid to swamp to Epstein billionaire gang through the IRS, contribute to Restore Freedom Plan. The other 70%, lion's share of that money, it's yours to keep safely with the guarantee and peace of mind. That will be better because it will cost you less with the guarantee.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Again, I appreciate everything you're doing, Peymon. I mean, I've watched you guys on, from Margie Taylor Greene's show and other places. So you guys have you have a big following, I think, and you guys are creating a serious movement in this country, which is so important, so necessary. So thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for your support and your participation, and thank you to every one of you who participates in getting America back to freedom for you, your family, and our children and our grandchildren. I'm a grandfather, okay? So I've done this for myself, but now I was young and poor in my late 20s when I started, but I'm doing more and more for our children and grandchildren, and same me with you. Go have fun, being positive, loving, active, doing something, and it starts with you educating yourself about the law and your rights. You take the attitude of education, it makes a difference. One of my people here at Freedom Law School says, Peymon, do you always teach? Because when I talk to people, I try to help them always educate my people here too about health, about freedom. I said, yeah, I'm always teaching. I'm always learning. I want to learn. I want to be wiser. I want to make better decisions. And that can be doing if I just keep educating myself. Can I just remain ignorant and expect to be free and things go nice? You got to focus on education and wisdom and knowledge if you expect a better life. So that's my attitude. Hope more people will adopt that for their own good, each of you. All right, my friends, we have two more callers waiting right now from Eric. No, there's only one. 406, okay. We have 406 area code caller followed by 865 area code caller. 406 area code caller, give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please. Are you there, 406 area code caller? Okay. Is he there? Are you there? I don't hear. 406 area code caller. Are you there? Can you talk?
No.
Yes. What's your name?
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, I was just listening in. I'm sorry, I didn't have a question.
No problem. All right, let me go next caller from area code 865 area code caller. Please give us your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hi, my name's Ed. I live in Tennessee. I followed the steps that you had outlined, and I heard about you through Telegram on Rug Polar Radio.
Rug Polar Radio. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I heard about that one. Okay. All right.
Well, you did an interview on there. So.
I did? With who?
Yeah. It was with G Money.
Oh, yeah. With Garrett. Yes. Okay. Very good.
Yeah, Garrett. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So the question I have for you, well, I have two. The first one is, so does petitioning for an extension with the IRS typically result in a greater chance of receiving letters from them later on when you don't file?
Nope. Your petitions do not go to the IRS. They go to your House of Representative members and your 2 U.S. senators who are supposed to represent you and your interests. It does not go to the IRS.
Yeah, what I meant was more, sometimes I've seen you give the advice of, hey, before you do your tax filing for the year, really think about it, apply for an extension with the IRS.
Okay.
And give yourself another 6 months to think it over.
Okay.
So if you were to go through that process, does it, later on, if you don't file, do they be like, oh, this guy, we've had mail from him, let's send him a letter?
No. Ed, there's nobody watching you. We're against somebody, Eddie Murphy. I always feel like somebody's watching me. No, there's nobody watching you. That's a myth. There's 80 million Americans who don't file every year. Let's put down for 63 million non-filers, okay? Who don't file income tax returns that the IRS believes these people should file. The number was 63 million back in 1996. It's now over 80 million because 30 years of population growth. The actual documentation is on our website, freedomlawschool.org. In step 3, okay, right there, September 1998, this letter to Mr. Dwan Abel of Oregon. Thank you, Mr. Abel. Thank you for your letter to Charles O. Rosati, Commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service, dated July 7th, 1998. We are pleased to provide you with the following information. Ready? I'm going to read what it says now, the relevant paragraph for you, okay? Based on our 1996 tax filing season, okay, we estimate, tax filing program, we estimate there are approximately 63 million taxpayers who have not filed a tax return and initially would appear to have a legal requirement to file. 63 million people already did not file back in 1996. And the letter continues. It says that this estimate, it's a guess, this estimate is based on data available to the service. Your W-2 forms, employees in the IRS, 1099 forms, all these forms available to service on the individual master file, the headquarters main IRS computer in D.C. So there's nobody watching you one at a time. That's a myth. That's why I played that video earlier. You got to watch it by Hopper. Okay? You know, those ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And they have to figure that out. There goes our way of life. You outnumber them. IRS is not watching. There's no Robert, Jane, David, Smith, Steve out there watching you saying, oh, Uh-oh. Hey, what happened to Ed, guys? Ed used to be a good slave. He stopped buying. Go after him. Go after Ed. Get Ed. No! That's propaganda deception. Okay? They don't watch you. Okay? So you're fine. So go to our website, freedomlawsuit.org. Step 3, folks, is the step that many people miss. It's my favorite step of the IRS, okay? Of the deception, okay? Why do I like steps 3? Because that's the one that shows your power. It's a longer section, step 3. Realize the IRS operates on deception and bluff. They're bluffing you like the Wizard of Oz is bluffing you with the assistance of the corrupt mainstream major media for decades. I pull the screen off of the curtain like the Dr. Toto in Wizard of Oz and have Dorothy and her friends like you American people realize, no, they're not watching you. They're having you brainwashed to believe you're powerless. They're going to get you if you don't fill out that 10 for income tax confession tax form because all your life you've been programmed by IRS, news broadcasters, mainstream media that tell you pay your taxes, file early, fear, stress, anxiety, panic, adoration of government, all that stuff, all your life. You have to de-brainwash yourself of IRS's fear. Recognize they rely on deception, bluff. You're powerful. You are powerful. You have the power. You just didn't know that. And you will know that. You have your confidence and power back if you go to freedomlawsuit.org. As you drive around, I keep saying it, listen to our videos. Listen to our videos as you drive at work, at lunch, evening, at home, at dinner. Watch them and listen to them, and you will know your power that you had that was kept from you through ignorance.
Oh, great.
Okay, Ed, anything else?
Yeah, just one other question. So I've gone on and looked at your, like that flow chart for understanding the IRS progression of letters. And I've seen you on some other calls where you tried to explain, like, if you have a pre-existing condition, that's a whole other set as far as if you wanted to join the Freedom Plan. Looking at that chart, when would you say that an individual has a pre-existing condition?
When the IRS sends you what we call a 30-day letter, okay, or they put numbers on their tax proposals. That's a letter they sent
first,
you.
Like orange block?
They're doing step 4. It's the orange on my screen. It's a yellow beige color. Step 4, 30-day letter. Okay, that's the one. When they put the numbers on there, that is a letter that they send before they send you a notice of deficiency. Okay, so that's before, and that's the proposal. So at that time, there's a 50-50 chance that they'll come after you with a notice deficiency. Okay. So the first letters that don't matter, the computer-generated ones in the beginning, request for tax returns, like I covered earlier, do not matter. Okay, but when they send you that number with the numbers in there, how much they propose on you, that becomes pre-existing extra charge.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome, my friend.
I appreciate what you're doing. You and Joe Bannister and many others, just what great courage you have for our country, and I'm very thankful for you.
Well, I'll tell you, your courage will go up, Ed, if you were to study my material and know what I know. That's all you got to do. Just know what I know. You see, okay, well, it's not scary. They deceive you to be weak, deceive you to believe you're weak, but you're not weak. You're actually strong. There's too many of us. We outnumber 350 million Americans versus not even 100,000 employees, IRS. They've had, since 2010, you heard me say, 40% staff cutting. That's over 50% loss of the organization that's imploding from within of corruption, waste, criminality, incompetence. Anyways, the IRS, what they hire, they don't want to hire competent people that come after people with taxes. They're interested in diversity, equity, in inclusion. They want to hire a non-white woman, maybe black, Hispanic, whatever, non-white woman, not a man, okay, who believes, who is a lesbian or believes that she's a man, and on top of that, disabled. They hit several criteria of diversity, equity, inclusion, all that baloney nonsense. That when they hire somebody based on his sexual and sexual orientation, racial agenda, you think they're going to hire someone of competence? Of course not. So that person is just filling a spot. He or she is not doing anything useful for anybody. That's what they're done. IRS is one of the most incompetent agencies because they're totally bought into that whole thing. So don't be fair to them, guys. Okay, I'm just telling you, you gotta take a little time to educate yourself, discover your power, and you won't be fair to these guys just like me. All right? So thank you for calling, my friend. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support, brother. We have two more callers that just joined us, I believe. One from area code 352 and another one from area code 310. 352 area code gun number. Caller, please give me your first name. I heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hey, Peymon, how you doing, man?
Good, thank you.
Good. My name is Lanny. I've talked to you before, been about, I don't know, a month ago, and I've heard about you on social media, several places. And my question is, first time I talked to you, I had received a CP 59 letter.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, probably about 3 weeks later, they sent me a CP 518 letter,
mm-hmm.
which also they had joined a 15103 thing. Is like something about they want me basically fill out a 1040 with that or a substitute for it or something. Then just here recently about, actually last Saturday, this past Saturday, I received a LT-26 letter. And it's saying that, you got to do your 1040 by June 20th. They're only giving you 6 days on this letter, really? But anyway, my question to you is what do you do about that?
I don't have a number of letters memorized, honestly. LT, you got to give me the copy of that. I don't know what LT-26 is. I don't have it before me. Let me ask you, does it have any numbers in there? Oh, there's, let me see. This, I have it on my screen. My assistant got it to me. Thank you. It says, please file your missing returns. Oh, another one of these letters that begs you. Guys, we didn't put this letter on the screen for everybody. This is the third one. Okay, third version. Okay, please file your missing returns. We're trying to collect unfiled returns from you. Exclamation mark! We send you previous notices asking for your tax returns for the period listed above. However, we still haven't received any response. And guess what? No negative consequence to you. They did nothing to you. All they're doing is scaring you with additional scare letters. Don't you think if they wanted to come after you, they would have come after you already? Send you a notice of deficiency, official tax proposal, coming up with some numbers that you can go to tax court and challenge it legally within 90 days before you pay the IRS anything? Of course they could have done that. But they don't do that. Why? The reason they don't do that is because, let's bring the step 7 of step 3, last one. Because they have only under 20 U.S. tax court judges. Physically, it's impossible. They have only 19 U.S. tax court judges. They have a few more of these special judges or senior judges, But there's no way they can come out to 80 million Americans who don't file tax return every year by giving you a chance to take up these guys' time in tax court. It's just way too many of us.
I understand all that.
Okay, then.
I understand all that. But on that LT26 letter, it's basically saying that if they don't receive the 1040 from me, I'm not going to do it, that's for sure. But it said that they will, or they said they may do a substitute SFR return for me. And, even though it's got the, you talk about the progression of their letters sent out, well, I've gotten 3 now, it's basically averaging out 1 a month so far.
Yes. Yes.
So what's the next progressive letter that I may receive from them? Is it going to be a letter of
most likely? I'm not an IRS's brain or the IRS's computers. What they will do, any more than I know if you might get in a car accident tomorrow and die. I don't know what they're going to do. I'm not a magician. Listen, the chances are very, very, very large they will leave you alone because they send you those 3 scare letters they're doing. But we update that, but they got 3 letters now. We got 3 scale letters. They update that on this chart, So they don't, probably nothing. They're going to leave you alone because 3 times they try to get you to file a 10 for income tax confession from on your own, confess under penalty of perjury, under oath that you owe the IRS money, and they're not able to do that. So they're going to try another person, another sucker who's never heard about Freedom Law School, who's never heard of Freedom Law School's education empowering that. They don't need to be afraid. There's about 80 million non-filers. They're probably just going to go after another sucker they might be able to get because you obviously are not a sucker. You're not falling for it.
Right. Because I haven't filed a tax return or paid any taxes in probably 15 years.
There you go. Go, folks. You hear that? For 15 years, he hasn't filed a tax confession form. 1-5.
Yeah, sir. But now they're starting to fish. They're starting to send me letters.
That's right. What happened? Put up the charts. I think it left off as loan. Step 3, part 6. What happened is this. About 2015-16, IRS completely left non-filers alone. Completely. Here's a chart. You see, the chart shows they left non-filers alone completely. Okay? And what happened is that I realized that. And I put it out, the publicized lately non-filers alone. And there was a report by Congress. You're looking at it in 2017. Okay? This says that a significantly reduced automated substitute for return program negatively affected collection and filing compliance in September 29, 2017. In other words, hey, IRS, you are leaving non-filers alone. The sheep are getting out the gate possibly. That's risky. You don't leave the sheep alone, IRS. But look, boss, we can't handle all the filers we got. We don't even pick up their phones to let people make payment plan to us. It's just too expensive to go after non-filers. And there's not enough money in it. It's just too much work for the money that brings in. We're going to focus on filers who have already admitted to owing the IRS money. That's easy money. So what happened when I discovered this report several years ago, about 3 years ago, and I started publicizing it on internet, guess what? IRS is watching me, not you. They watch me. And it's thought, oh my gosh, Peymon, president of Freedom Law School, is telling his slaves, the sheeple, that they can just get out the gate. There's nobody watching the gate. They can get out. So we are going to have to do something. Just don't let the sheep get away. So that's why they resort to restarting. They put some people to send these scare letters like you got 3 of them, to try to scare you into filing 10 for income tax confession form. That means what Freedom Law School is doing is working. More and more Americans are waking up realizing, they can't come after all of us. There's 80 million non-files every year. With only less than 30 tax court judges that they have to give us a trial in case we challenge them, which you have a right to challenge them in trial in tax courts. You should. If they send you an official tax proposal letter called the Notice of Deficiency.
Okay.
That's what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't got anything like that yet. There's been no numbers mentioned on any letter.
Right.
Just send me your 1040, please.
So you good, Ed? Can I go next caller, my friend? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Now, that was Lenny, I think, right? That called? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Lanny.
Lanny.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friend. Yes, I got confused all the calls we got right now. We got 2 more people to take questions from.
All right,
Area code 3.
man.
You're welcome, Lenny. Thank you, my friend. You're not that far from us, in Florida, looks like, my friend. So you're one of our neighbors. Thank you for being here.
You're at Brooksville, right?
Yeah. Whereabouts are you?
Chiefland.
Where?
Chiefland. About maybe an hour north of you.
Oh, north of us. Gotcha. Okay. In Citrus County. Okay. Very good, my friend. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, I'm in Levy County.
Oh, way out there. You way out in the countryside. You live in the heaven country. Yes, in the nature. Good for you, brother. Good for you. Yes. Thank you. All right, we have 2 more.
Talk to you later.
Thank you, Lenny. We have 2 more calls from area code 310 and area code 916 caller also just joined us. 310 area code caller, please give me your first name. I heard about Freedom Law School.
Hey, can you hear me?
Question, please.
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, my name's Ted.
Say it again. Spell your name, please.
T-E-D, Ted.
Ted, yes, Ted.
Yeah, I have a question. If I'm in, I just moved. I was out of work for 2 years, car accident, and I just recently formed an LLC and PLLC in New York. And I haven't. This is the first year, so I haven't signed any 1040s. What advice do you have for me if I got to be here for another about 2 or 3 years because of family and young ones, and I want to move? And if I was to move after whatever I'm supposed to do here, where to move to? Tennessee, Florida? That's the question I got.
First of all, how do you hear about Freedom Law School, Ted?
Yeah, for a long time. I mean, I've been following Bannister for Joe, for a long time, and what was going to happen with Cheryl as well. And I didn't know for a while that you were in the middle of that. So they both knew you or of you. And when you came into the picture, I was like, all right, I was going to reach out to Bannister, to Joe.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't see that they were doing anything as far as, helping people. I mean, they are bringing out the word, but you're doing something about it. You're actually a key player in actually helping people free themselves. So I was like, I'm just like, this is the first time calling in. I've been watching for a while.
All right. Well, I would say don't worry about your entity business. LLC is fine if that's what you want. No problem. LLCs are now the most preferred form of doing business. They have a lot of convenience and expensive. I would recommend New Mexico or Wyoming. LLCs, limited liability companies, because they have no annual fees or annual forms to fill out. And where to operate, any state with no state income tax is good. My favorite, of course, is Florida. By far, overall, the lowest tax state in America. And Tennessee, and of course, if you like the warm weather, Florida's best. I prefer personally Tampa area, North Tampa area, because it's cooler. Orlando's a heat sink, hot. It doesn't get no wind. Miami down there, south is hot. South Florida is hotter. But here I am in Central Florida, north is nice. That's why I chose Brooksville area. Tennessee, if you like mountains.
Where did you say?
Brooksville, north of Tampa. North of Tampa.
Where it's not like. I'm sorry?
Tampa area. Tampa, Florida.
Tampa.
Yeah.
Oh, Tampa. Okay.
This is the
yeah,
best.
I didn't know like temperature and mosquitoes and all that. And heat. I can't do well with that.
Of the three major metropolitan areas and Florida, Tampa area is the best one, best weather. Overall, many advantages. Not so busy as Orlando or Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. Tennessee is great if you like four seasons of the mountains. Okay, Tennessee would be a good second choice by me. If you like cold weather, South Dakota and New Hampshire, they're both good also. Way up there.
What about the property taxes over in Tampa? I mean, they're pretty crazy, right?
Florida has average property tax rates, but we can put it on a website the tax, state tax, property tax, stuff like that. But because the housing prices are low, especially rural area, then that means it's a low property tax compared to most states. Here's a map. I got it from you right there. Look at it on the website on Free States map, which was more freedom-oriented. So this is how about state tax? Oh, yeah, state property tax map. Let's go this one. Here we go. Okay, yeah, let me get the right one on for you, the next one. So right here you see the states with the have the highest, the lowest state property tax map. From you see right now. And Florida's average. But Florida has no state income tax. For example, Texas and New Hampshire, both also have no state income tax. But Texas and New Hampshire both have high property taxes. Okay? So overall, Florida is the lowest tax state in America. Okay?
Okay. What do I do now, though? I'm in New York. How do I bite the bullet? Dude, the state, how do I deal with the state?
Leave. Come to Florida.
Yeah, but I got to be here for the kids, grandparents and all that.
For how long?
So,
for how long?
3 years.
By the time they come after you, you're no longer in New York anyhow, probably. Seriously.
What's that? I'm sorry.
By the time they come after you, you probably live no longer in New York anyhow. And there's nothing they can do to you if you're not in New York. You have nothing in New York, they can't touch you. You could be in Florida, Tennessee, France, Egypt, or Japan, or Russia. They cannot touch you because you have nothing in New York. Understand that? America's not a country. We are 50 countries in the Union. Just like in Europe, you have a European Union with France, Germany, Italy are part of the European Union. Would you say France is not a country? Germany is not a country? Of course they are. So is Florida, so is Texas, so is California. You know the country of New York? The country of New York cannot take your money anywhere else in the 50 United States. Understood?
Yeah, but what if I have like an actual storefront? Like I have to see patients and stuff like that. Like I gotta shut down and reopen.
Look, you probably want to do a one-on-one private consultation about your situation, my friend. Okay, because I cannot give you this minutia of your what if this, what if that, my situation, this, that, the other. That takes too long. You want a paid private consultation about your situation, and or join Restore Freedom Plan so you get unlimited consultation along with 100% protection. That's why we offer you all that. So you can get all that custom-made responses, answers, solutions that fit you and your situation, all the what-ifs. You're saying, I got family here.
If I start now, does everything transfer over if I go to any state? I mean, do I have to do all the filings again for each state differently? Or is it all just basically the same? Federally, it's the same, but as far as state.
You can do it anytime, anywhere, go anywhere you want to, my friend. You're traveling across the states makes no difference whatsoever.
Okay, that was my question.
Okay.
All right, and my last one more question is with everything changing so rapidly, and Trump saying that he's going to get rid of, I don't know when he's going to do it, or if he's just saying that just to kind of make everybody happy, getting rid of the IRS. What is like the future within a 3 to 5 year? What do you think is going to happen?
Depends on you and me and anybody that's on this program and American people as a whole. Will they wake up and take back their country? If you wake up and take a stand, they'll be gone. 5 years from now, IRS could be gone. You could be free again. You could take a country back from the Epstein gang, billionaires that own this country.
No, agreed. It's all freaking crooked. Well, thank you so much, Payne, for your information, man. And yeah, I'll contact you guys.
You're welcome, my friend. Yeah, call us, call us office number. If you have questions, we try and answer you. But if you have more unique custom situation like what you got, Ted, there's got to be what I'm on a consultation. We're happy to do it for you, to do it just right. What's your occupation, by the way, Ted? What do you do? What's your line of work?
Mind body transformation in the healing sector.
Are you a bodybuilding type of thing? What do you mean? What does that mean more specifically?
No. Health and wellness. Spine stuff, spine and mind.
Natural path type of thing, or MD, medical doctor? What do you mean?
No, natural.
Oh, you're good. Okay.
No,
yeah.
No MD.
Do what you want anywhere, brother. Anywhere you want. Don't worry. Okay, you'll be fine. Nobody even W-2s or 1099s you. You'll be free. Without the W-2 or 1099 forms, the IRS is practically completely blind. Do you understand that, folks? They don't even use the W-2 or 1099s against you because it's too broken agency. But if you have no 1099 W-2s coming against you, they're practically blind. Same as you do in cash, more people's lawn for cash. Or sell lemonade on the street corner for cash. You get people pay customers pay your cash or check. Who doesn't matter
with these chips?
Okay, you'll be fine. All right, brother. Thanks for calling. I love what you do as a naturopath. Okay, I'm into natural health myself very much. I don't like the corrupt the medical system we have right now. I'm totally into natural health. So thank you for doing that, my friend. But yeah, don't worry, you'll be just fine. Okay. All right, I think we're done for right now, but the number calling board is open. If you have a question right now, it's available. Free, you'll be next. Call 424-552-1299 and press 1. On the keypad, 424-552-1299 and press 1. I'll take your question next. Let's go online. Any questions there? Otherwise, I want to do questions right here from somebody. Sandra. Send me several pages of the letter. Yep, and guess what, Sandra? Your letter was partially answered, partially not, okay? Sandra, okay, got some letters from the IRS. Yep, she got one of those harmless, you need to file your 2023 Form 1040 tax return in May 26th. Then she got in May 11th for your 2023. Before that, from Austin, Texas, you still haven't filed your 2023 tax return. But this one has some numbers on it. Isn't that interesting? IRS is asked backwards. Let's just ask backwards. They send a letter with a number of proposals that are informal, but that's the one they send before they issue the formal notice of deficiency, okay? And then they send sound out the baseless, toothless, you still haven't filed your tax return for 2024 letter. You know, they send that a little bit later. Is that? Yeah, about 2 weeks later. So there's no need to respond to either of these letters. What they have to send you, as always, let's put that on the form, the chart, guys, okay, about IRS letters. They got to send you a notice of deficiency, okay? That's the one that matters. You got right now this equivalent of this 30-day letter, step 4, the yellow beige color box, rectangle. That is what they send you. They claim you owe them about $8,000, okay? But at this point, they have not sent you the official notice of deficiency that they need to send you if they claim that you owe them money. And on this letter, let's see. Interesting, on this one, they're even threatened to send you a notice of deficiency, okay? But let me look at it a little closer. Let me see. I'm looking at this. This is several pages, folks. The letter sent here by her. They list the amount that income reported by third parties to you But this looks like a toothless letter too. Even though they put some numbers on this form, they are not saying that they'll send you a notice deficiency afterwards, which means they probably won't, even though they put some numbers on there. IRS is going through some transformations. They're so screwed up, mixed up. They're doing things out of order of their own normal, regular self. So, Sandra, you're fine. Don't worry about it. You're good for right now. If you want not to worry about this stuff, this is 23. Join for 2024-25 on the Restore Freedom Plan. You'll be protected for all those years. This year, I'm not sure if you qualify for that yet, for 2023. You know, because unfortunately, they're sending a letter with numbers on it. Okay, we have two callers right now. 240 area code caller and another one from area code 281. 240 area code caller, give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please. Are you there? Area code 406 caller?
I am here. Yes, we got a little bit of delay, but I believe we're going to be fine. Well, my question is,
what's your name? I heard about us.
When it...
Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ref.
Spell it.
R-E-F.
R-E-X or R-E-F?
Romeo Adam Frank.
Okay, Ref. All right, and how'd you hear about us, Ref?
Instagram.
Very good, my friend. How may I help you?
All right. So, my question is, when does it become criminal from them? When did they view person as criminal and start applying criminal charges?
Tell me about life. I mean, that's such a broad question. I don't know.
Well, it's a broad question because when everybody tells us, like,
there is no. Let me tell you, there is no. Stop. Let me answer your question.
Criminal.
Let me answer your question. The answer is too vague to give you a specific answer. Okay. I give you some information, but it's not like I know the IRS's brain, how all these bureaucrats, how they come after who went. I don't know. There's different ways. A lot of times, if you write to them nonsense letters like I'm a sovereign citizen, revocation of election, UCC, straw man, naming capital letters argument, common law versus admiralty, French flag argument, all the nonsense. If you do that, you wave your flag. Hi, one of those patriots, come and nail me, make an example out of me like Wesley Snipes. So don't do that. That I do know. Otherwise, they don't come. Criminally, they come after very few people. They don't. They very rarely come after people criminally if you don't file. They come after filers. They come after people for money laundering, get drug dealers that way, stuff like that. They rarely come after non-filers anymore. If you're not doing our petitions, they will not come after you at all. If they okay, bring our steps up, please. What you want to do our petitions, and you don't have to worry about that at all. Understood?
I understand.
Right.
Yeah, so not filing would be a criminal case.
If you are required to file and don't file, it's criminal. But the people of the 50 United States are not required by law to file income tax. Only citizens and residents of Washington, D.C., they have to file income tax. Are you from the District of Columbia?
No.
Then you don't have to file income tax at all to begin with. And you should write your congressman.
All right, so then my last question is when, now I missed a little bit, but when you open a EIN number to operate as a business outside of D.C. jurisdictions, the state of D.C., should we keep going the same way as personal, or now you're obligated to file because you got to be in compliance with that company?
You got to stop using those silly words like being in compliance with that company. That means nothing, being in compliance with that company. What does that mean? That doesn't mean that somebody put the baloney in loud in your head, you repeat that, some baloney someone put in your head, being in compliance with that company. What does that mean even, your question? You just got a company, go run it. That's it. You're free.
Yeah, but if you got to be, the state require you to have annual
Who's they?
And filing.
You gotta stop being vague, brother. You gotta be. Who are you talking about? Be specific every time. Don't give me vague questions. I can ask you a big question. Who's they? IRS, state, who? What are you talking about?
The IRS is a state. They require to have a filing so you can keep the IEN number active, doesn't it?
You're not answering questions, and I cannot help you. You mean the state that you created the LLC? Once you file annual reports with the state, is that what you mean to say?
Yes.
Well, then file an annual report with the state. That's got nothing to do with income tax at all. Any more than your sales tax or property tax or DME taxes have anything to do with income tax. You have to pay those taxes. I never questioned that. But it's irrelevant.
Okay.
All taxes are not the same. You got to pay those taxes. Income tax, you don't have to pay. Federal income tax belongs to people who are citizens or residents of District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. You need to go to our website, freedomlawschool.org. Step 1, start with the law. That's what you haven't done, brother. Okay? You got to
go to our website
about
right now
the
and
law.
become a student.
What's that?
We're gonna go to your website now and become a student.
Very good. And go to step 1 through 7. All your questions answered there because we focus on federal income tax. We also help with state income taxes, but we don't deal with and corporate income tax, federal corporate income tax, federal estate tax. Okay. Also. Okay. Now I don't deal with property taxes, alcohol taxes.
Thank you.
Tobacco taxes, DME taxes. Property taxes. If you have an entity, you have to pay annual registration fees. Pay those. But you don't need an entity. You don't need an EIN. You can operate as a sole proprietor. Why have an entity at all and pay those taxes? You can you get rid of all that stuff. Just be a sole proprietor. Okay?
I understood.
You're good. Anything else you want to ask me, Ralph?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, my friend. Thank you.
No, that's it.
You're good.
You.
All right. Great, my friend. Let's go to our 281 area code caller. Give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Good afternoon, Peymon.
Good evening.
My name is Marlon, and I'm in Texas. And the way that I heard about you was through, let me backtrack a bit. I've been with the Cracking the Code Warriors from Texas for quite some time. And, that didn't do very much because you're still filing somewhat. But I learned about you from one of the members, David Montaigne.
And what's the name of the group?
I'm sorry?
What's the name of the group you mentioned? Some Warriors? What's the name of the group?
Yeah, it's Cracking the Code from Pete Hendrickson.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha. Okay, all right.
Yeah, so I've been with that for quite some time, and I've been actually since 1997. I've been in the freedom groups and things like that, so I'm familiar with the issue with the IRS and the no law that says, that we're compelled to file. Mm-hmm. So I'm aware of all of that, and I haven't actually filed for about 7 years now or so.
Good.
And so now I'm getting this letter. Well, I got a CP 59 letter, and just like somebody else mentioned on the call there, that they received within about 3 weeks or so, they received another letter. So now I got the CP 518 letter.
There you go. We have them. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So now, who knows what's coming next? I don't know. But anyhow, the thing with me is that I decided to do early retirement because I suffered a vertigo thing and I lost my hearing on the left side. So, I was doing some interpreting work, and so I could hear somewhat. So I'm still doing that part-time. But I did early retirement, and mind you, I don't mind saying that I'm 62, so I decided to do that. And I'm doing part-time interpreting work, like language interpreting. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting a 1099. So I know that I'm going to want to join the group because again, there's the safety in numbers, and so I'm aware of that. And, I mean, I haven't had issues with the IRS until now, but I know that I'm going to want to go ahead and join your group without a doubt. And so in order for me to join your group, I know that there's fees, obviously, to keep the organization going and everything. So what do I need to do as far as, I guess, the fees that I would need to pay to become a member of the Freedom Law School?
Well, that's very easy. Go to our website, freedomlawschool.org. On the top center, you see a rectangle that says sign up. Click on the sign up. Okay? And then you agree to terms of the website. Click on that I agree. That's all that is. And you fill out this simple form, Restore Freedom Plan form, right there. Fill it out. It's a few questions. Okay? As little as, 6 questions, maybe 10. That's it. And then you fill it out and it gives you a membership amount. Send them to amount us by cash, crypto, okay, or precious metals, gold and silver. Like we accept Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. And you're a member, and you just maintain your membership every year. Do the same thing. Very simple.
Mm-hmm. So, well, I had, at some point in time, I did have some cryptocurrency, but I took it out, because, again, I hadn't, been filing and everything, and I didn't want the IRS to go in and mess around with that. So I cashed in my cryptos, so I don't have those anymore. And I don't have gold and I don't have silver until I was listening to you, one of your other recordings about buying in on gold and silver. So I don't have that. So in order for me to make payment to you guys, can I send a money order or something, or
cash? You got cash? There's cash in the mail, but registered mail.
Yeah, like regular mail.
No, registered mail. That's the same.
Oh, registered mail. Registered mail. Yeah.
That's
okay,
right.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. To me, regular mail means registered mail or certified mail, or whatever.
Not certified, registered mail. Yeah.
Yeah, registered mail. Okay. Okay. Right. Perfect. And so now, as far as the amount that I'm going to be paying, is that determined upon the amount of money that or the retirement amount that I get, and so on and so forth, or what?
Depends on your situation. Our calculator on our website, membership calculator and application, you put the numbers in, and it'll estimate 30% of what you otherwise would have paid the IRS. And based upon that, you have your membership number at the bottom. In this example, I'll put on this on the screen. I just put one example.
Yeah.
I put a single person making $50,000 as a W-2 employee, $100,000 as his own business, no withholding of any kind, no children under 16. In this example, this person would have paid the IRS otherwise $33,000. Okay? But this person will save and get to keep $23,000 of that. The membership will be the remaining $10,000. In this example, the numbers you put in the calculator determine how much your membership is based upon your situation, your numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, because I am retired. I hate to say this. I have to admit this, but as for Social Security, we're getting peanuts because some of us are only getting like about $1,000 somewhat a month, believe it or not. So that's why I'm doing a part-time interpreting, language interpreting work, because otherwise
I
wouldn't be able to make.
You're fine. Listen, David, listen. I was in my 20s a Persian language interpreter, very part-time also, sparingly, okay, in California. So I know what you're doing. That's fine. Go do it. You'll be left alone anyhow. Okay? Don't worry about it. You don't have to don't become a member. You don't need to. You make too little, and you make some money here and there. You don't have that much money. Just keep it all. Don't file, don't pay. Done. Why even think twice about it? All you're going to do is study our website, freedomlawschool.org. Take the 7 steps, educate yourself. Simple, easy steps. You got time, you're not working, go through freedomlawschool.org, 7 steps, and keep your money, you'll be fine. What you want to do, tell others about us. Let us give us your brochures to you. Restore Freedom brochure
Yeah, actually,
and hand them out. You are 60 years old.
Yeah, I went ahead and subscribed, and I requested some pamphlets from you guys. So now I'm just waiting on them to get them because I'm going to spread them out. So I do have some people that I know that are actually working as tax quote unquote for H&R Block. So I can get on their case.
Very good. Get them out there, and remember, tell them if they can prove us wrong. You can collect $50,000. Tell them you split the $50,000 cash reward with them. Okay, that's an incentive for them to show where we're wrong. Meanwhile, in the process, they find out, oh my gosh, Freedom Law School is right. No law requires 99% of Americans to file and pay income and payroll taxes. Okay.
Yeah, and the other thing, because I noticed too on there that that you have it's sort of like a network marketing deal.
No, so right now it's only one level commission. There's not at this point. There's no network marketing multi-level. At this point I don't have it right now yet. Maybe down the road, but right now it's only one level referral reward pays to you when you refer somebody else.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like I said, my name is Marlon, and David Montaigne is the one who referred me, to you particularly.
Yes.
I have heard. I think I've heard it before about Freedom Law School. But I never, got into it because I was going into the, SEDM?
Yes. Yes, I know about them. Yep.
Yeah, so I was with that. Like I said, I've been around for a while with this, but, I said, I felt like I was a sitting duck. I didn't have really, a safety in number kind of thing.
Yep, that's right.
So that's what I'm looking for.
There's going to be safety in numbers, my friend. You got it. Any other questions,
All right,
Marlon?
Well, I appreciate it, man. I'm glad to see that, that at least you're doing what you're doing and not just letting somebody hang out there on their own, we're going to hang together or we're going to, separately. We don't want to hang by ourselves.
That's right. That's exactly what America's founding fathers said. This is and our step 6. That's something that I really emphasize for everybody, that Benjamin Franklin said, gentlemen, we shall hang together or we should hang separately. That is very true.
Yeah.
All right.
Very good, my friend. I appreciate it. Like I said, so I'll go ahead and look into the signing up, and I'll go from there. See where we go. But like I said, I'll be in touch, and you'll probably see me around here and there.
Okay. Look forward to it, my friend. Look forward to joining hands with you for restoring freedom in America.
All right. Stay safe.
Thank you, my friend. All right, we're done with all the callers right now. We're going to announce the call number one more time. If you have a question, announce yourself right now. Call the number 424-552-1299 and press 1 if you have a question. 424-552-1299 and press 1 if you have a question now. Let's see, any questions online, guys, we got to get to, or we can end the Freedom Hour Sunday if anybody's done. Let's see. Do you have anybody up there, Eric? Let's see. Okay, somebody says, let's see. Douglas Debnar, what if you live in a state where your state taxes depend on your W-2? Well, in that case, that state is following the federal tax law and forms that do not apply to you. W-2 is not for someone who lives in one of the 50 states. That's for special category people relating to Washington, D.C., not to people in the 50 states. So you're fine there. You have another question online that asks, Bob Daniel, I'm in Idaho and I want to stop submitting tax returns. Would it work the same for Idaho? Yes. It works the same in all the 50 United States of America. Okay, all the states are foreign to the District of Columbia, where citizens and residents of D.C. have to file and pay income tax. If you're from any place else on earth, Russia, China, France, Germany, Italy, Idaho, Kansas, Texas, you don't have to file and pay any federal income tax anyhow, period. You're good. Okay? Do you have any more questions? Okay, another one, N4D, 4G, 3N. Do I need to pay taxes if I get government-funded health care? Well, that's a good question. First of all, I am against socialism of any and all kinds. I think you're destroying yourself by relying on guaranteed government paying for insurance companies to make money off of you. Drug companies make money off of you. Doctors and hospitals make money on you by cutting you up and giving you poisons. That's not healthcare. I wouldn't recommend it at all. I would not recommend it to you. Don't do that. Drop it. Get a natural health care. Okay, animals in nature don't get sick. Right? We do, because we eat garbage food all of our lives. Okay? And then we go to these poisonous doctors for the system. So I wouldn't recommend that. I've done some research into that this Obamacare, so-called health care, but it's not. And they want to resoften tax returns from you, perhaps, to show income to pay less or more for that phony health insurance. You may have to play that game. Again, why play the game? Why be a slave? That so-called health insurance, which is not health insurance, is slavery. They're saying, be my slave, and I'll take care of your slave, but they're going to use you to take money off the system. The system is a scam, is a ripoff. Hospitals are by law do not have to put out the prices they charge because they go to rip off the U.S. government. But they do. The system is a scam. It's another story. So I wouldn't play that game at all. Get off government health. Get off government at all. Do something, anything. Work at McDonald's. It's better than being on government health. Okay? Get your integrity back, my friend. You'd be happier when you do that. Another one from Mr. Sean Haley. I haven't filed a tax return since 21 for 2225. They owe me a return. Who owes you a return? You mean a refund? But for 26, I will owe big. I changed my deductions and I'm making more money. Can I just continue not filing a return? Yeah, of course. Why would you not continue not filing? You don't owe the tax at all to begin with, Mr. Haley. So why would you file a tax return at all to begin with? You're fine. Okay? Just continue living free. No longer do that annual slavery 1040 income tax confession form. We have a call that looks like join us from area code 918. So let's go to a 918 area code call that just joined us. Call, give me your first name, how you heard about us, and then your question, please. Okay? You got it, okay.
Is that me?
That's you, yes. 919 area code.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
I'm here.
Yes.
919. It should be 919.
Yes,
anyways.
It's my mistake. Yes, sir.
Hi, Peymon. My name is Dave. I'm calling from North Carolina. We've spoken before. I actually wanted to have you on our show, Zetidic News Network. Just wanted to thank you for your work and call in and share my experience. I have not filed a 1040 tax confession form since, I think, 2011, which was only 3 years after I entered the workforce. I didn't know everything I know now about the law, as you've taught, but I knew that it was wrong, and I didn't want to comply. And I've had a number of different interactions, but at this point, I don't hear from anybody anymore. I was, I think, put into private collection for some purported taxes that were owed, but I didn't receive the proper documentation itemizing what was owed, and so I didn't respond. I mean, I actually did respond and told them to provide the documentation, but they didn't respond to that, so I stopped responding. I didn't answer their calls, and they don't bother me anymore. So I think there's a lot of merit to what you say about the self-reporting trap that we put ourselves into.
As far as questions for you, I guess I'm very curious what you're hearing from your clients about, like, in the last couple of years, what you're seeing for those who are following your process and following through with it with their employers to not withhold. Are you seeing many cases where employers are getting, I forget the exact terminology, Peymon, you might think of it, but like compliance, the compliance program. I was put into that with a prior employer, and they refused.
Hold on, you're going all over the
request.
place. All over the place. Dave, get your question straight. What's your question, my friend? You're going all over the place.
Well, my question I thought was clear. You know, what are you hearing from your clients around the compliance program? Are
Compliance
people who are
program.
following your
Okay,
process,
hold on. You got to stop using meaningless, vague lingo. Just because they threw the word compliance at you. Compliance means complying with everything, any, all, and all laws. That's very vague. Be specific. What is your question? Not a vague question with lingo.
I don't mean to be vague, but are you aware of the withholding compliance program?
Oh, you mean the IRS's lock-in
You
letter?
are.
Yeah, that's what you mean. The withholding compliance lock-in letter program. You got that. All right.
So those who follow your process and basically demand that employers do not withhold. Sometimes I've experienced it where the IRS sends the employer a letter saying this individual is now in the withholding compliance program, and so then the employer. My question is, are you dealing with many of those cases, you know, in the last few years? Is that something you're seeing? Is that something you're experiencing? How are you addressing that? If it's happening. If it's not happening, that's great news. But
it is happening. Hold on, let me answer you. It is happening. It does happen once in a while, not very often, but it does happen some. And we're working on a lawsuit to challenge that in court for everybody. Any other questions?
Is that something you're seeing more of or less of as compared to maybe 5-10 years ago?
More of compared to 5-10 years ago.
You're seeing more of that?
Mm-hmm. But then again, maybe it could be because you have a lot more members compared to 5-10 years ago. So that could be because of that.
Right.
So I really don't know. I mean, I don't.
Sure.
The IRS does not share this statistics with me.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was curious about your observations, given the work that you guys do.
Right. Do you have any questions about your situation, Dave?
Not really. I don't. About my situation, I'm more interested in the overall picture and what you're seeing. Given the unique, position you're in, servicing people who are, following your process, I think you have a lot better insight in what's happening on the ground than like what the IRS is going to tell us is happening on the ground.
Yep. And we're on a process of challenging that. That's something definitely high on our agenda on that lawsuit we've been working on to perfect it, my friend. So thank you for calling. I appreciate you asking that good question because that's on some people's mind. I do know that, and rightfully so. It's been on my mind too, my friend. We have a caller from area code 406 that just joined us. 406 area code caller, please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please. Oh, I'm sorry, 678, sorry. I apologize. 678 area code caller. You're live with Freedom Law School. Give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hey, good evening. My name is Christopher. I first found you on the internet. And my question is, how do we learn to, disseminate this information to put it out into the, and spread the information? how do we get the education that we need to spread the information?
First of all, where on the internet do you hear about us?
I think I seen you. No, it was a guy. What was the name of that thing? I first seen you with. It was a company called urlaw.com. I think you did an interview with them one time, and I took your information and started following you from that platform. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So, can you repeat your question, please?
How do we? I mean, because I'm definitely been following you for a while. I don't think I'm quite versed in being able to articulate this information properly. And my question was, how do we get educated more deeply into, being able to articulate this information to most people? Because a lot of people be asking, well, how do you know this is legit? Or how do you know that's not against the law? Stuff like that.
That's very easy. You go to our website, freedomlawschool.org. freedomlawschool.org. There you see on the front page, it says Restore Freedom. Never again voluntarily pay the Washington, D.C. swamp legally and safely guaranteed. Okay? Seek the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And you click on the gold button there that says Start. The 7 easy steps to regain your power and freedom. Once you do that, you see yourself, it says free yourself from income tax slavery with these 7 easy steps. Step 1 is follow the law and go on as you drive around to and from work and errands. You listen to them. If you're retired or at home or at lunch or dinner, whatever, watch the videos, and the education is all there for free. And if you have any questions, you can call us at 813-444-4800.
Okay, 10-4. Thank you so much, Peymon.
You're welcome, my friend. My pleasure. We have another caller that just joined us from area code 813 area code caller. Please give me your first name. I heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hi, Peymon. My name is Michelle. I'm your neighbor in Tampa.
Very good, Michelle.
I saw Marjorie Taylor Greene's podcast with Bill, and that's how I came across your website.
Very well. Michelle, how may I help you?
Capital gains tax. So how do you pay capital gains tax without filing a confession form?
Why do you want to pay capital gains tax to begin with?
I don't. I do
There's
not.
no law requiring you to pay to the government of the District of Columbia personal income tax on your wages, business income, commissions, capital gains from stocks, bonds, real estate, commodities, crypto. Doesn't matter. You don't owe any of that money that you make for a living to the foreign government of the District of Criminals. You're from the country of Florida. You don't owe income tax.
Okay, that makes it very clear. That's very clear. I did not know that included all those taxes.
Yep. Capital gains is just another form of income tax. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay.
Are you in real estate? What do you do? What kind of capital gains are you looking at this point?
Stock.
Okay, yep. You don't owe any income tax on that at all.
best news I've had all day.
Great. I'm so happy to hear that. That's good. That's good. Now, Michelle.
Thank you.
And are you retired? How old are you, Michelle?
No. I have a small business. I do colon hydrotherapy.
Okay. Well, then let me suggest that you join our Restore Freedom plan, and then call us. We mail you all these brochures for free. Okay? That's 2 of them we got. Fast Track Your Success or Restore Freedom brochure, or both we can send you. They both show you in 10 pages inside simply how no law requires 99% of Americans to file and pay income or payroll taxes. $50,000 reward if anybody shows us wrong. And I'll pay you if your people join us, your clients will pick us up, ask you questions. And at the bottom, there's a white space to put your name and phone number. When people join, we'll be able to pay you. And what kind of therapy you do, you said? That was interesting.
Colon hydrotherapy, colonic.
Say it one more time.
Colon, like your colon, your large intestine. Colon
yeah. I know about that. Yeah, you colon cleanse therapy, right?
Colon cleanse, yes.
Yeah. I know about it for a long time. Yeah. You are in a natural health business. Your clients are out of the box mindset. They've given up on the corrupt medical, pharmaceutical, chemical, cut your body up system. They're looking for real outside the box thinking for themselves. They're able to think for themselves.
My clients, yes.
Yes. So your clients will be very open to hearing that no law requires that people in 50 states like them to file an income tax, and you don't. That's easy money to supplement your income. Because you got a city.
I'm so excited to share that information. I'm very excited to share that.
Yeah. So get our brochures. We mail it to you. Put it in your lobby. Okay, both kinds, both sides. Put them out there. And while you're doing the colon cleanse, you can have a conversation about something. They can ask you questions about that, and they'll join, and they'll be glad that they came to you for more than one reason. Not only they're healthier, but also they're going to be more prosperous and have peace and choices in their life that otherwise they would not have.
Well, I thank you so much for doing this. This is just amazing. I'm really excited to, share this excitement because it's a load off of people's, off their mind. Now I can take a load off of somewhere else and their minds.
Yes, you got it. All right. Any other questions, Michelle?
Nope, that's it. Thank you so much.
You are most welcome. Thank you for calling. All right, let's see. Let's put the number on the screen if you have a question. By the way, you can always call our office if you have a question during daytime. Okay? We're open weekdays 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturdays from 11 to 4 off season right now, Eastern time zone. If you have a question, call right now. The board is open. Call 424-552-1299. Press 1 on your telephone keypad to be next to get your question answered. Call 424-552-1299 and then press 1 on your telephone keypad. Okay? And online, do you have any questions to see if anybody wants to call in, or are we done with online questions also, guys? We have a question from Suzanne. Okay. Suzanne Young, my husband just turned 65. And my birthday is in August and turning 65. We both get Social Security and when receiving Social Security, they automatically force us to sign for Medicare and pay $200 a month for it. Okay? And then it says, let's see. She asked an additional commentary question. You can just click off and I can see it, yeah. How do we get around the Medicare? Okay. All right. That's a good question, honestly. I don't know. Suzanne, I know, unfortunately, through deception of employers and the people, they have ripped you off for decades, and your husband told you they took money out of your paycheck on Social Security, FICA taxes for your retirement. But they did not. They lied to you and your husband. They spent the money already. They promised you, and that was promised was based on a lie. So many people have become dependent upon Social Security, unfortunately. Okay? So I don't know about the Medicare question, honestly. I need to see the paperwork that you're referring to. Once I look at that, then I can find out more about that. But really, Social Security as a matter of law, the way it's written, is not to be taken from paycheck of people in the 50 states. It's supposed to come out of paycheck of people who do certain specific activities, like having aircraft going in and out of 4 U.S. island territories or vessels, with 4 island territories of Puerto Rico, Virgin Island, Guam, and American Samoa. Yes, that is how the law is written. And the people that take out of the Social Security are the same kind of individuals in those 4 U.S. island territories, not the people of the 50 states. Once you claim you are within those activities you're doing to receive money in those 4 island U.S. territories, I suppose they could add Medicare to that also. In fact, Medicare taxes also is based upon the same island U.S. territories. So they're saying, hey, if you get out of those 4 island U.S. territories, you got to take money, you got to take some here, pay some here too. They may do that also. That's how they reduce what they give you to fatten up the insurance companies, the pharmaceutical drug-making companies, as well as hospitals and medical doctors. That's sadly how the system works. That's how it seems to be the case. I would suggest focus your energy, Suzanne, on the fact that you're not that old. Do something. I'm 63. I don't ever plan to stop working or collecting any socialist money from the government. And I imagine that you're probably very healthy. You look beautiful on the line in your picture. Okay? So do something. What you could do as a mature member of the society, call us and pass out to your friends, family members, co-workers in front of your local supermarket, our 2 brochures, Fast Track Your Success, Restore Freedom Plan, or text, email to people you know. On social media, on your Facebook, X page, put up that NOLA requires 99% of Americans to file and pay. Income and payroll taxes will pay you if and when people choose to join our Restore Freedom Plan, to restore America to freedom and prosperity like it was meant to be by the Founding Fathers' plan. So that's the best advice I got in your situation. All right, nobody's called in. Any no more questions online, guys? Are we good? All right. How do we get on Medicare? Yeah, I don't know anything about that now. Another person asked, Classic Productions, who would take over Freedom Law School if something happens to you? Hopefully nothing ever will. Well, I have backup plans in case something happens to me. Other people will take care of it. I do like to announce that for the IRS to know who would be the person in charge second after me. But the plan's in place. People that we have right now, we can take care of them, no problem. It's easy. Because of my name and credibility over 30 years of doing it successfully, we can take care of our existing problems, no problem. Okay? What would be a problem is growing bigger, reach your heights, and get a lot more people, because I'm the engine of promotion publicity as well. So that's our growth will get affected probably without me. All right? Any other question? We got Gloria Copeland says, are vested government retirees receiving benefits under the Bailey settlement required to file and pay income tax? I do not know anything about the Bailey settlement. Having said that, I don't see a reason why getting any kind of a settlement required to file and pay income tax at all. Okay? I mean, it's a settlement, you know. Are you doing federal government work in D.C.? No. Are you citizen or resident of Washington, D.C.? No. Okay, then. You don't owe income tax. It's that simple. Don't make it complicated. Okay? It's that simple to get out the matrix of deception. Citizens and residents of Washington, D.C., they do have to pay income tax. If you're a federal worker making money in D.C., you have to pay income tax. If you're some real estate in D.C., business income within D.C., you have to pay income tax on those things. Okay? All right. Let's see. Any more questions we have online? Looks like we're done. Nobody calling on the call number. Thank you very much for being with me so long. Gosh, it's a long freedom hour yet tonight. I gotta get some sleep. It's late in Florida, guys. Guys, listen, I love you all, and I want you all to be free. I want you to know I love you, and I want to thank you for being with me, joining with me, connecting with me. There's my once a week chance to be with you and help you, reach out to you, touch you in this way. And I share my love with you by sharing my knowledge with you. At the end, to be free, something that you must choose to do and be by going to our website, freedomlawschool.org. Go there on your smartphone when you drive to and from work. Listen to our videos from the 7 steps to free yourself of the IRS. Okay? 7 easy steps while you wash the road. When you go lunch at work, home in the evening, put your smartphone or computer up, watch it again this time and listen, and you know the truth. Seek the truth, and the truth shall set you free at freedomlawschool.org.